my own, turn the chair to a throne. I'm a king and it's why I start hard. I put my whole city
You are now tuned into First Round by.
If I didn't start hard. And every night is a premiere. If I ever disappear, best believe I'm coming back. Start hard.
With your hosts, Justice General Radford, host of the Justice for All podcast, Jake Jordan, host of The Lowdown with Jake Jordan.
What's going on, BillsMafia? Welcome to week one of our preseason, regular season. We're going to go through all 17 weeks of the Bills regular season schedule, and we just happened to line up with the last 16 weeks before the regular season. And of course, there's a 17th week now, but as we all know, the Buffalo Bills play on Thursday that week. So we can do the week 17 game that week as well. We hope you guys would join us, for the journey. And we are also going to be having probably a few special guests, maybe some guest analysts. We'll see what happens throughout the season. But today you got myself. I'm Justice General Radford. And you also got my man Jake. That is Jake Jordan, host of The Lowdown with Jake Jordan. Also, we are co-hosts of First Round By as well. So we're going to be going with you throughout the season and also during week one. And so right now we got the pregame show for you guys. Week one is obviously the very, very much anticipated game between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Rams on Thursday Night Football. But first, I want to see how my man Jake Jordan is doing. How you doing today, bro?
Dude, you always know how I'm doing. Look, we had to set this whole thing. I swear, we talked about this a few weeks ago. I completely forgot about it. And then, on Friday night, it was like, oh, yeah, the Madden thing. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Jake
so
went
we got
crazy.
Everything.
Listen, the production Jake put together, ridiculous. Oh, my God. I can't wait for you guys to see.
Just look at the screen right now. You got the Mafia Madden 22 pregame show.
This isn't even half of it. This isn't even a tenth of what he's done. So thank you, Jake. Appreciate you, bro, as always, making the dreams come to life, like the genius you are. But today we got Bills versus Rams. We're going to do pregame. Obviously, the Los Angeles Rams won the NFL Super Bowl last year. They beat the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs, who beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the conference championship, who beat us in the divisional round championship. So it's a relatively big jump for the Buffalo Bills to be the Super Bowl favorites for the 2022 season, but we are. And week one, we get to play last year's favorites week one and also the team that actually won it. So first of all, what do you think about the Los Angeles Rams and, what they have to offer week one of 2022 season versus, what they had when they won the Super Bowl last year?
So it's crazy with this game because to set all of this up, I had to look at the rosters of both of the teams. And when you do that, you start to realize that there's a big mismatch here when it comes to the offensive line of the Rams and the defensive line of the Bills, because the Rams have got significantly worse on their offensive line. It is ridiculous to even see some of the names and the overalls that are sitting there. I believe one of their tackles is over a 78 overall. Andrew Whitworth is gone. This offensive line is a bunch of guys that are kind of unproven. And you're putting it up against a defensive line that really the only unproven guy on it is Gregory Rousseau. And even then, he's still got a much higher upside than most just lower end players at that position. So, dude, this Rams team, they've taken a hit from receivers to offensive linemen. It's not that same Rams team. I think that there's going to be kind of a learning curve that they're going to have to learn too. And their learning curve is kind of more negative as it is, because it's like you're downgrading in some positions, whereas the Bills have more riches at positions, and their learning curve is learning how to use those, not trying how to figure out how to do more with less. So I'm really excited for this game. The only thing that we know about it is that it was recorded and I have chopped it in half and put it on here. So other than that, me and Justice are completely oblivious to this.
Yeah,
And
we don't know anything.
This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait to watch this game.
Yeah, we're gonna be watching this game live with you guys. So everything you see is what we're gonna see for the first time. And also, before we move on from the Rams into the Bills' expectations, because we are going to start the game soon, McVay, right? Sean McVay versus the Buffalo Bills. Ken Dorsey is now in his first year play calling. Of course, he does have Joe Brady and Mike Shula as his offensive QB coaches and offensive assistants. Yeah. But McVay has obviously been doing this for a long time, and he has worked himself into a head coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach. And with even more, he also went to another Super Bowl where they lost the game. So McVay is kind of a genius, to be honest, especially in NFL standards. You know, in terms of offensive minds in the league, he's most certainly top 5, probably top 3, maybe top 1. So what do you think? Do you think that advantage that McVay has with a Matt Stafford, with the Cooper Kupp, with the Allen Robinson is going to be more than a Ken Dorsey does, you know, with what he has in his first year?
Yeah, well, so if we're just going strictly masterminds of the offense, Sean McVay has the big advantage, as all the things that you laid out. But Ken Dorsey has also, he's not a scrub in the league. This might be his first time calling plays. Actually, I don't think it was, because he was like passing game assistant coordinator, something for the Bills last year, to where he had microphone privileges. So he knows how it works, right? So I would assume that it's not going to be that big of a difference. I think that even if you take a step back and you just look at it at face value, I think Ken Dorsey, having all of these things to play around with kind of the knowledge of knowing how to use these weapons from obviously studying Brian Daboll last year, is going to be a little bit more than Sean McVay just having these new weapons. Of course, Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee are, you know, carryovers, and the running backs, but these wide receivers that maybe he hasn't had as much time with Allen Robinson. Maybe he's going to be asking for Allen Robinson to do maybe more than what Allen Robinson can, you know? So I think that Dorsey is going to have a better chance. I actually know that because I had to set the depth charts, Tommy, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let you find out. But I think that Ken Dorsey is going to know how to use the weapons a little bit more, because of he was able to study basically all these guys. And the only guys you really got to worry about are Jamison Crowder is the new guy in the room. That's not an outside weapon. That's not a guy who's going to be going up against a number 1 wide receiver or cornerback. And I mean, I guess you can make that argument now, is who's going to be cornerback 1 on this team against Allen Robinson with Trey White not in this game. He will not be in the simulation. So it's going to be a battle for both offenses, I think. But I would probably give the slight edge to Dorsey, because I think that doesn't have as much to try to figure out with his.
All right. So, of course, guys, the game does start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to my boy Adam in the chat. Shout out to also my boy Tommy in the chat. And before we get to the game, Jake, can we get one spoiler? Okay, just one spoiler for the people. Is Motor at RB1?
Devin Singletary is RB1 in this
Motor
simulation.
Singletary is RB1 in the simulation, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll see how he performs. You know, we'll have to make executive decisions, of course, throughout the season. Who underperforms, sure. And you know, guys might have to take a back seat if they're not looking great. And so we'll see what happens, right? But without further ado, we're about to show you guys the Week 1 Madden NFL simulation, Buffalo Bills versus the Los Angeles Rams.
Sure.
Well, it's too long living in the same old lies. I feel too cold to live, too young to die. Well, you walk the line like it's there to choose. Just forget the wins, it's the best to use. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on these streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? In the city of lights, in the backstreet balls and the neon lights. Well, I heard the thunder, I can feel the rain. It's the same religion, just a different name. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on these streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on my streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle? Ain't no God on these streets in the heart of the jungle. Won't you follow me into the jungle?
Yes, that is going to do it for us with that intro. This is your full broadcast of the Week 1 matchup of the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills from beautiful SoFi Stadium in Southern California. We are your commentators, Jake Jordan, joined by Justus Radford. Justus, how you doing?
I am so excited, bro. This is amazing, bro. Like, this got me so hyped right now. Like, I'm so ready to get going, man. I'm so ready.
Dude, I'm so excited for this game, the opener of the 2022-23 season of the NFL. And of course, we get a what-if matchup here between the Los Angeles Rams. And of course, these stats aren't going to be 100% correct because these are from the season beforehand. That is just the limitations of Madden. But we get this matchup between the Rams and the Bills. How are you feeling about this?
I mean, listen, man, the Bills have the best roster in the NFL for a reason. And we obviously know they have the best quarterback in the NFL, but the Rams did win the Super Bowl, so we'll see what happens.
And of course, we're going to figure out what everybody's wondering and what is going to be the lineups for this. Of course, we don't know exactly what the depth charts are going to be. These are all just, trying to figure out what it is. And of course, we're not going to get to see who the kick returner is just yet because the Bills have elected to kick off. So we're going to see Cooper Kupp return this. And we are going to get our answer for what can this Rams offense do against this Buffalo Bills defense. Finally.
Cooper Kupp takes a knee, and so the Rams are going to start their drive at the 25-yard line. We get to see our first glimpses of Matthew Stafford, of course, winning the Super Bowl last year, leading his new team to the championship and finishing the job, doing exactly what he was brought there to do. We'll see what he does in week 1 of the 2022 season and start off. And of course, he's going up against this Buffalo Bills defense that was number 1 in the league last year. What do you think the Buffalo Bills defense is going to be able to do versus this offense?
So this Bills defensive line is completely revamped, as you can tell. X Factor Von Miller there right on the edge. And we're going to see exactly what the Rams plan to do here against the Bills. Plenty of time back there in the pocket.
He takes a deep shot. Oh, wow.
Wow,
Cooper
that
Kupp,
man was wide open.
He was wide open. Stafford had a lot of time. That's not a great first play for the Bills defense.
Yeah, and if you look back there too, I believe that was rookie cornerback Kyer Elam back there on that one. So that is definitely going to be something we need to look up, that matchup with that new CB2.
2nd and 10, Stafford incomplete on the screen play. So now it's 3rd and 10. We'll say what you want about the first play. Buffalo Bills stop him on 2nd down, make it 3rd and long.
Yeah, Von Miller back there with that pressure. That is what they brought a guy in like Von Miller to do. Get back there, get the hands in the face of the quarterback, and bring that pressure to force them to make mistakes.
Of course, we see Dane Jackson on the field. He's now CB1 starting this season. We'll see what this Bills defense does on 3rd and long. They were pretty good last year. Stafford drops back to pass. Von Miller is going after him. He throws it up, and it's knocked away.
Beautiful deflection there, and great defense by rookie Kyer Elam, man. That was... I think that the Rams, if they're going to air it out this entire game, they're going to be in for a rude awakening.
They definitely need to get the run game going versus this defense, or at least the attempt. It was 3 straight passes, and now they punting it.
Yeah, and this Bills defense, again, completely revamped, one of the best secondaries in the league. Jamison Crowder back there to return kicks, and that is not a big surprise, as that has been something that was asked of him early in his career to do, and he was pretty proficient at it.
All right, so maybe we can expect to see Jamison Crowder as your punt returner this upcoming season as the Buffalo Bills get set to take the field. Josh Allen is stepping on the field for the first time in 2022. What do you expect to see from the new superstar?
Well, first, we're going to see what the Bills' game plan is going to be against these Rams. And
as the first play is a run from Devin Singletary. RB1 is Motor Singletary. It's a nice chunk of change on the first play, 7-yard gain.
And I think this might be a good strategy for the Bills, is to be able to have a mixture of the run game in with the passing game, kind of like what they did last year towards the end of the season, which gave them the most success.
Absolutely. It makes it a lot easier on 2nd and short, 2nd and 3. They run again. Singletary pops it loose.
This Bills offensive line. This Bills offensive line has been retooled once again, but for the better, and I feel like that is making Devin Singletary's day much easier.
Already, the Buffalo Bills have a first down, which the Rams couldn't do. They make a big hole versus this Rams defense. I mean, this Rams defensive line is no slouch, so this looks pretty good for the Bills offense.
I'm loving this for the Bills offense because Devin Singletary, a guy that a lot of people don't think can be that guy, could be a big changing factor for the Bills to have a dynamic offense this year. as they go to him again.
And we see Devin Singletary again, a gain of 3, which isn't horrible, but, it moves the sticks a little bit.
I am loving to see what we're going to get from Josh Allen this year, and to see the Bills open up this high-flying offense once again.
Second and 7, we've seen now 4 straight runs on the day, and a nice chunk of change there as well. He gets 4 yards on the game. That brings up 3rd and short.
The ghost of Brian Daboll still looming over this Bills offense, as it seems that they are reluctant to be throwing the ball. It is very weird here, as they are running it quite actually well. If the Rams want to stop them, they're going to have to stop this run game, it seems.
And they run it for a 5th time in a row. They do pick up the first down. That looks like rookie James Cook on the carry. Oh, no, excuse me. That's Zach Moss, 3rd year back out of Utah.
So Zach Moss being that 3rd down back kind of seems like he could still have that role, especially on those 3rd and short type of runs where they just need him to get through there and maybe bully a few people, make them make some business decisions.
And this offensive line is absolutely giving you everything you could ask for from it. You haven't even need to put the ball into your best player's hand because they've been running it so well.
And that's usually something that you'll see here, is that right out of the backfield again, going with Singletary, it really just seems like the Bills are going to keep running it until the Los Angeles Rams stop them, is what it seems.
And they pick up a nice chunk of change on 1st down as well, making it 2nd and medium. Hey, they've been doing this methodical drive. They haven't really gone for the big shot. They look content to take the short yardage. This is the first time we've seen them in a 5-wide set. We'll see what Josh Allen does here on 2nd and 7.
Definitely. Again.
Good time. Nice little gain. Jamison Crowder, his first catch as a Buffalo Bill. Another 3 yards.
Yeah, getting 3 yards on that. I definitely think that the Buffalo Bills have a wealth of options that they can use. So it's very surprising here, starting at the beginning of the game, that they kind of are just leaning on the run game a little bit and keeping the ball out of Josh Allen's hands.
They're not taking any chances. They're giving them exactly what the defense is giving them. They find themselves in 3rd and manageable. Ball on the 35-yard line. Josh Allen drops back and throws it nowhere.
An errant pass that looked like a miscommunication with his receiver, if that is what happened. Obviously, this is Madden, so it's not the most realistic game that you'll see, but we're going to chalk that up to a miscommunication with Tyler Bass here on the field to kick the field goal.
3rd-year man Tyler Bass, one of the best kickers in the league last year, and it is good. He puts the Bills up 3-0 as we see Case Keenum in his first game as a Buffalo Bill holding the ball for Tyler Bass to put points up on the board for the Bills. So they get the first points in the 2022 regular season. Methodical drive there. They didn't really go for it very much. You didn't really get to see the full aspect of Josh Allen, but they did put points on the board.
Yeah, and, the Rams kind of have to be considered how their offense looked on that first drive, that they were lucky that the Buffalo Bills only came away with 3 on that drive, giving them an opportunity here to be able to go and score 7.
All right, and Cooper Kupp brings it out of the end zone, which turns out to be a mistake. He's not going to get into the 20-yard line. Nice tackle on a play by the Buffalo Bills special teams, one of the best special teams in the NFL last year, and they do continue to put in work as they put points on the board, and they've given the Rams not very good field position on this return here.
Yep, and while the Rams have their drive going here, we will explain the rules of the sim. It's 15-minute quarters, all Madden difficulty, and the QB ratings for both teams match the leaked Madden 23 ratings. So with Matt Stafford being an 87 and Josh Allen a 95. All of the rosters are updated to reflect what they are in real life with rounds 1 through 3 rookies. Only if a later round rookie is a specialist like a kicker or a punter where they add it in, and there is no user input here at all. This is all the CPU and what Madden thinks will happen during this game.
As Cam Akers gets a gain of 6 on the run. They look like they're adopting a little bit of the Bills game plan with running on first down. They look to be in a jumbo set on second down as well. We get the reverse. Great play by veteran Matt Milano.
Love that play there by Matt Milano. And again, like you brought up, the Buffalo Bills were starting out the gun with a running attack, and the Rams really throwing the ball on that first drive, not finding much success. Maybe it's better for them to go up against this Buffalo Bills defensive line that is still pretty new and playing together, and maybe trying to exploit them not being so good in the run game as we've seen in years prior.
You see Buffalo Bills' best friends, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, over there on the sideline hyping each other up. What do you think expecting to see from them this season?
I'm expecting a lot of success.
Ed Oliver! First sack of the season for the number 9 overall pick, Ed Oliver. Expecting big things from him this season. And the Bills force a punt on 4th down.
And you can see Sean McVay over there wondering what happened. Look, this Bills revamped defensive line, like we said in the pregame show, going up against an offensive line that doesn't really have the star power you think that it might for a team that won the Super Bowl just the year prior. Definitely a lot of guys still trying to figure out what is going on, and Ed Oliver taking advantage of it and getting sacked.
Rams forced on 4th down. Crowder back to return again. Not much on the carry there, but it is back in the hands of your quarterback, Josh Allen. So you have to feel good about what your defense has been able to do in these first 2 drives.
You gotta. And the offense, too, I'd like to see what attack they're really going to go to when it comes to this, because, they might be reluctant to keep relying on Devin Singletary. Eventually, you have to assume that the astute defensive line of the Rams is going to figure this out eventually and how to stop it. And then you're going to put the ball into the hands of one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league.
Well, they seem to be taking your advice as they come out in 5 wide again. Josh Allen drops back the pass. Quick throw. He gets Gabriel Davis on the sideline.
Beautiful.
What do you expect from Gabriel Davis this season?
An absolutely amazing season for him. Of course, being the number 2, he's going to get a lot more open looks with Stephon Diggs commanding most of the attention. But Gabriel Davis, again, setting a record for playoff performances and touchdown catches last season. Expecting big things from the young man out of Central Florida.
Bills come out under center. Maybe we expect to see a little bit more Devin Singletary here as they showed down the first drive. Nope, you're going to get a pass. Josh Allen sees Diggs wide open, and he takes it to the 20-yard line.
Wide open there, and you got to think that Jalen Ramsey probably playing a little bit too far off of Stephon Diggs, rather, during that play. It's you have to really pay attention to Stephon Diggs because he will tear you up. And if you leave him wide open like that, Josh Allen will find him and they will light you up for yards all day.
Bills taking advantage of that. Look like a 2-3 zone. They come back out in 5 out formation. Josh Allen drops back to pass. He looks and he finds Crowder. Crowder takes it to the 6-yard line. Josh Allen is 5 of 6, 51 yards. 51 yards in this game. He looks comfortable out there as he puts the ball inside the red zone, down at the Rams 6-yard line. We'll see what they do on 1st and goal here.
Yes, we're definitely going to see right here. I'm going to assume that they might be running the ball here.
As they do, Zach Moss takes it down to the 1-yard line.
They're going to rule him short on that one.
It looked like he might have gotten to the end zone.
But definitely here, I'd like to see what the Bills can do creatively. But I think that running the ball here with some backs that are probably better at the goal line might be the answer with Zach Moss back there.
Zach Moss back in the backfield again. And he gets the carry. Oh, he's stuffed. He looked like he might have got a push, but no dice.
It looks like that Rams defensive line at the goal line with their backs against the wall are getting it done, at least at this point in the game. They're really figuring out what it takes to stop those running backs, and it is stuff them at the line.
Third and goal. You like to see a touchdown, and they're not going to get it. Singletary stuffed at the goal line. So 3 straight runs for a team with Josh Allen, and none of them from Josh Allen.
The ghost of Brian Daboll still looming with this Bills team, still believing and leaning on the run game in some of these situations. You'd like to see the Bills get a little bit more creative here than run right up the middle, but we're going to see what Sean McDermott does here on 4th down.
Josh Allen still in the field. He's in the gun. We'll see what they do here on 4th and inches. Slant. Touchdown.
Brand new weapon, Jamison Crowder. Josh Allen is taking advantage of this brand new player in their system. And I'm loving what Jamison Crowder is doing here on the field today, man. He is definitely showing that with all the weapons that Josh Allen could be throwing on the field, he is the one that's consistently beating his man. And Josh Allen putting that ball perfectly to only Jamison Crowder can catch it.
He does look comfortable in this offense already, doesn't he? We've seen 1 catch from Gabriel Davis. We've seen a couple big plays from Stephon Diggs. But Jamison Crowder has been a very consistent force in this offense in its first couple drives here.
Yeah, replacing Cole Beasley, not a easy feat to do, but definitely Cole Beasley, one of those weapons that was that reliable target that Josh Allen could throw to in tough situations. If Jamison Crowder can just be that, he's going to have a ton of success in this offense.
As we see the Buffalo Bills take a 10-point lead on the Los Angeles Rams. We are here midway through the first quarter. As we see the Buffalo Bills getting ready to kick off to the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams offense has got to step up here. They're going down a little bit. They're down 2 scores at home. This is not the way you want to start your season.
Definitely not, especially the Super Bowl champs. And it's very curious here to see what the Rams are going to do on offense, because it looks like they've tried to do a little bit of both. When it comes to their first drive, they aired it all out. The second drive, they really tried to run the ball, and it doesn't look like they were able to have much success on both for a team that has a coach as offensively gifted as Sean McVay. This is a little puzzling here to see why they're not able to at least find something to do against the Bills defense.
Well, speaking of not having much success, they haven't had much success on special teams either, as they only get to the 18-yard line. They can't even manage to get to the 25, which if he would have took a knee is where he would have been. But this offense is back on the field. Matt Stafford is under center. He drops back to pass. He is taking his time, throws it out of bounds. Looks like he threw that one away. Matt Stafford is 0 for 4 versus this number 1 defense in the NFL.
And the Bills, they're giving it's not as if Matt Stafford doesn't have a ton of time back there, because he has had a decent amount of time. None of his receivers have been able to find their way open with this secondary that's been one of the best in the league the last few years.
All right, we see a quick throw here from Matt Stafford, immediately taken down by the superstar Micah Hyde. 4 yards from Matt Stafford to Allen Robinson with his first catch as a Los Angeles Ram.
Yeah, Allen Robinson, a big get for them, of course, sending away Robert Woods and Odell Beckham Jr. not being re-signed. They had to retool their offense a little bit, and Allen Robinson is one of those guys that you think is not a bad replacement to have back there.
Sack for Von Miller. Von Miller with his first sack as a Buffalo Bill. The veteran, the Hall of Famer, makes his impact early, as he's gotten some pressure earlier, but now he finally gets the sack, Jake.
Yeah, he finally gets the sack in his return to LA. I'm sure there's not a better feeling than having to play your team that you were just on the year before, and to get a sack on that guy doing your job, exactly what Sean McDermott's preaching.
Well, as they said in the comments earlier, Von Miller looks to be ruining a rink ruining a ring ceremony for the Los Angeles Rams, and he looks to be doing just that. But the Bills' return game isn't great either, as Jamison Crowder gets stuck where he stood. But again, you put the you put the ball in the hands of Josh Allen, and that's always a positive.
Definitely. And I think that Jamison Crowder, what you're really asking him to do here is to just not drop the ball. Every single instance that we've seen for him in that, he's already being met by a player as soon as the ball hits his hands. So he doesn't really have the opportunity to make those plays that maybe you'd think he can. But when he does have that time, he will be able to do so.
And his contribution on offense has not been a slouch either. We see Devin Singletary, and he's not going to get a big gain. 2 yards on the play. We see a little bit more of this run game than maybe we expected.
Yeah, definitely a lot more. We obviously, when you have a brand new play caller coming in Ken Dorsey, you would assume that they might go a little bit more conservative with first-time play caller, but going strictly Devin Singletary here is a little bit puzzling, but they have not had a lack of success with it. I would say that they've actually been doing fairly well, at least beginning with using the run to really set up these critical passing downs.
Yeah, absolutely right. And they've set themselves up very, very good on third downs, as I believe this is the longest third down they may have had so far. Josh Allen drops back to pass, and it is incomplete. Threw it a little quick. He was trying to get the ball out to his running back on the screen. It doesn't work. Now, 4th and 5, the Bills look like they're going to have to punt here.
And we're going to see rookie punter Matt Araiza, the punt god from San Diego State. This is definitely going to be not somebody that you see probably a lot during the season, as the Bills have had one of the lowest punting percentages in the NFL the last 2 years running.
Absolutely. So his first punt as an NFL punter, he knocks the ball out at the 16, so he puts it inside the 20. Not a bad first punt for the rookie. He puts the Rams in negative position again, kind of like the kickoffs. They've really not had great field position starting in this game.
And the great thing about this Bills team is that every phase of the ball, from special teams to the offense and defense, they all are treated with the same level of respect. So a team that, again, has not punted very much the last few years understands that it is still imperative to have a great punter back there to set you up in these positions.
Absolutely. Brandon Beane made sure he filled a lot of holes that the team had, and they didn't have very many, but it looks like number 90, Daquan Jones from Tennessee, first year with the Buffalo Bills. He makes the tackle. That's why they bring him in. He's a great one tech, and he's able to be very, very good in the run game, and he breaks the double team there and gets the tackle.
Definitely. They bring in Daquan Jones because the team that, again, has struggled in run defense in the last few years, when you look at it, they needed a guy like Daquan Jones to come in and really shore up that defensive line to make sure there's no holes for these running backs to really run through.
Matt Stafford, quick throw. He gets out to his receiver. First down on the play. I believe that is their first down of the game. Allen Robinson with his second catch of the game. 2 catches now, 16 yards, and he looks like he's getting his groove a little bit now in this Los Angeles offense.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you need if you're the Rams. You need to find an offense, because with all these new pieces in here that you're working with, you really need to get that rhythm going so that you can have success.
Von Miller looks like he's getting a lot of penetration, but not before Matt Stafford could get the pass off to his tight end. Gain of 7 on the play.
And that's what they need to do, is to just short gains and build up that offense, get that momentum, get comfortable so that you're able to keep moving down the field, because to hang with this Buffalo Bills team, we've seen it in the past, you got to put up points.
Rams set themselves up very nicely on second down as they take the run. Tackle made by Jordan Poyer as they get a decent gain, 3rd and inches. However, they are inside their own 38. This may not be go for it on 4th down territory, so we'll see what they do here on 3rd down.
Definitely going to see what they do here in 3rd down. They're kind of in no man's land right now, so they got to figure out what they're going to do. Going for it here would be very detrimental for them.
Absolutely, we get another run, but they do pick up the first down. He finds a hole in the defense. Cam Akers picks up the first down, and he doesn't pick up very much, but they do move the chains.
Definitely, and that's all you're really asking for this, like I brought up, with that momentum. They definitely got to establish something here because their last 2 drives have not been very successful, both trying different attempts to go at this Bills defense, but not finding much success.
And we see Edmonds as well as second-year man Greg Rousseau on the tackle here. Matt Stafford's going to throw on first down. He has time. He's getting chased by Daquan Jones, and he hits him for the sack. The Buffalo Bills first-year man Daquan Jones makes a big play on the run game, and then he gets his first sack of the season.
The Bills defense absolutely doing what they are paid to do. One of the highest paid defensive lines in the league, getting the pressure back to a slightly inexperienced and new Rams offensive line. Definitely getting what they're paid to get.
How about this defensive line? And Ed Oliver looked like he was right behind him. If Daquan Jones wasn't there, he was there for backup. Matt Stafford drops back the pass again on 2nd and 21. He doesn't have very much time, but he does get it away, dumps it off to Cooper Kupp for a gain of 6.
Nice pickup from
8.
Cooper Kupp there, right over the middle. The Bills are gonna let you have especially on these long possessions, especially when you got to get 21 yards. They're gonna play back. They're gonna give you the short thing, try to make you waste it down, getting like 6 or 8 yards. And again, this drive for the Rams, seeming as if it ended the same way the Bills drive ended on the one prior, with a screen pass that goes absolutely nowhere.
And this Rams offense can't get anything going. I don't know if they've been in Bills territory so far as their punter comes back onto the field. He punts it away. We see Jameson Crowder there to return again. Fair catches it. The Bills start at their own 22-yard line. And again, we see fifth-year man Josh Allen come back onto the field with this electrifying offense. They've got 10 points in their first 2 drives. We'll see if they can 10 points in their first 3 drives. And we'll see if they can get back to putting points on the board here.
And this is the best position you want to be in if you're the Buffalo Bills, is having Josh Allen out here with the possibility of being able to put up as many points as possible, so that it makes your job a little bit easier on defense, to where you're not trying to stop the other team from necessarily scoring a ton of points, but you definitely don't have to be as focused on them as they go to Devin Singletary again, and seeming to be a focal point of this offense here. 2 receptions for 8 yards and more running.
Devin Singletary definitely looks to be a big part of this offense, and they look to be going a bit conservative. I imagine the Rams are probably playing a defense to cover the deep ball a little bit. Josh Allen goes under center for 2nd and 5, and they give it to Devin Singletary again as he gets a gain of about 2. Excuse me. He gets a gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 3. So you still, you're ahead of the chains. It is 3rd and 3. They haven't really brought out the arsenal yet, but we do see production from this Bills offense here in the first quarter.
Definitely seeing a methodical pace from the Bills offense here. Of course, we want to see the high-flying action that we've been seeing in years prior, but with the success they're having here with Motor Singletary, 9 rushes for 42 yards. I mean, why stop?
He's halfway to the century mark here in the first quarter, and the Bills have 10 points on the board as we are just about finished with the first quarter. Devin Singletary looks to be the man of the half. He has quite a few running yards. He's been in the passing game, so maybe in the ways we were expecting to see maybe James Cook, it looks like we're seeing Devin Singletary instead.
Yeah, and James Cook, number 2 running back on the depth chart. Still, we're seeing it's the whole Devin Singletary show.
Devin Singletary lays the boom as they end the quarter. The Bills run a play with 2 seconds left in the quarter.
Look at those passing yards.
Absolutely. Not what you would expect, but Josh Allen has been very efficient in the game so far. Devin Singletary has really, really been on it today.
He has, and I feel like that maybe not – it won't be something that we see during the regular season. I think we're not going to see Singletary getting as many carries unless it is part of the game plan, which it looks like it is for the Buffalo Bills here.
It is. It's dropped. Josh Allen drops back on 2nd and 3. He throws it out of bounds, out of reach of his receiver. He is 7 of 10. He's playing pretty well so far. He's just thrown a few, passes that didn't quite get their target, but he's doing well for the most part. Again, they find themselves in plus territory on 3rd and 3 as they come back out in shotgun. Josh Allen.
See what they do here.
Drops back, quick throw. Throws it to Isaiah McKenzie. Completes the pass, but they don't pick up the first down. It is 4th and 1. If they're at midfield, what do you think the Bills should do here?
If I'm the Bills, if history is to be believed, I believe that the Buffalo Bills probably punt in this situation with Josh Allen coming off the field. There we go.
Looks like they like to punt God. Matt Araiza back on the football field. And no fake here, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see a punt. And he does corner this one as well at the 15. So we see some very good punts from Matt Hawk. No ability to return. He puts them inside the 20. Then the Rams continue to get bad field position as we see the way the last tries ended. We see just the way Matt Stafford has been under pressure today. And even when he hasn't gotten sacked, he's still been under pressure when he's had a little bit of time to throw the ball. What are you seeing here from this Bills defensive line?
This Bills defensive line, again, is taking advantage. Many of unproven commodities here on this Rams offensive line definitely being taken advantage of by a Bills defensive line that is full of veterans outside of Gregory Rousseau.
Matt Stafford, play action. He's looking. He throws it. He finds Cooper Kupp down to the 31-yard line. So 16-yard gain on the play. I mean, it looks like this passing game is opening up a little bit.
And Justice, this is exactly what the Rams need to do to be able to keep up with the Bills. Is they got to keep going to this. Cooper Kupp, one of the best wide receivers that they have in their arsenal, needs to be something that they take advantage of, especially with the Bills secondary not having Tre'Davious White.
As we see rookie Kyer Elam on the coverage, the Rams run on 2nd down. No go as we see the Hall of Famer Von Miller come up with another big play for no gain on the tackle.
Yeah, the Rams just cannot establish a running game against this Bills defensive line. It is kind of ridiculous at this point for them to keep going to this when the Bills seem to have sniffed this out. The Bills are really going to be challenging you to go into the air, which looks to be what the Rams need to do.
Matt Stafford throws the screen again. Micah Hyde says, no way. No way. The Bills set up 3rd and long. Again, we do get an injury on the field from the man who's been making a few plays, Daquan Jones.
With Daquan Jones going out, you should be seeing Jordan Phillips go in here, who is, again, more of a traditional 1 technique, even though he plays more 3. He can definitely fill that space. He's not a small guy. They'll definitely not have that big of a drop-off, but Daquan Jones already with a sack and plenty of run stops during this game already. It's going to be a hard loss for them.
As we see Shaq Lawson on the field as well, former Buffalo Bill out there making a difference in this game so far. As we do see big number 97, Jordan Phillips on the field for 3rd down. Matt Stafford drops back. He's under pressure. He throws it. Great defense by the Bills secondary, as well as the defensive line. Looks like they were providing even more pressure. Matt Stafford really can't do very much with this defense.
Yeah, it's looking like this Bills defense is exactly as advertised. They are going to make any quarterback back there have a long, long day. And for Matt Stafford and the Rams, it is not going their way. Of course, the Buffalo Bills still only have 10 points. But if you're the Rams, you got to start getting something to work quick.
Pretty good return here from Jamison Crowder on the field. He brings us down to the 42-yard line. The Buffalo Bills are there at the 42-yard line. They have great field position as we see the player of the game so far. 10 carries, 49 yards, almost 5 yards to carry. Devin Singletary looks amazing out there. The Buffalo Bills here can really do some damage if they're able to put 7 points up on the board here. The Rams, who can't move the ball at all, it really looked like they're in a tough spot.
And it's a testament to the Buffalo Bills being so dynamic with the weapons that they have, to where every single game could be completely different and they can come at you with Josh Allen pulling it down and running. He's so dangerous in doing that.
Josh Allen using his legs a little bit as he gets 9 yards on the carry. You definitely got to watch out for Josh Allen's athleticism.
Definitely. Josh Allen, one of the best athletes. And if he pulls down that ball, whoever's in the secondary that has to stop him, if he gets free, is going to have a hard time pulling that guy down.
Josh Allen drops back to pass on 2nd and 1, and he's using his legs again. And he picks up the first down. He's inside of Rams territory, and he's moving the chains a little bit. Josh Allen getting out there, getting loose, and we're seeing this Bills offense open up just a little bit, and he's using his legs to maybe manage the defense some.
Definitely. And again, just to go back to the point of Motor Singletary, they are very, very dynamic with all the weapons that they have. Josh Allen is able to pretty much do whatever he wants out on the field. And it looks like this Rams defense is giving him exactly what he wants. He's got A plans, B plans, and C plans, and the Rams are not able to stop everything.
Well, we see Gabe Davis out there catching another pass, and I don't know if he's the A plan, B plan, or C plan, but everybody seems to be contributing in this Buffalo Bills offense. Josh Allen gives it back to the man of the half, Devin Singletary, working his way to 9 yards. He is bulldozing over people today.
He is having himself a hell of a half here. I think that Devin Singletary, again, to the point, he's just another cog in this wheel. And this wheel today said, we are going to run the ball on the Los Angeles Rams. And he is that number one option, it seems, with an errant pass over the middle from Josh Allen.
Errant pass over the middle from Josh Allen, as Jake just said, but it is 3rd and 1, and that's where your run game and Devin Singletary playing so well puts you in a good position. So even when you do that, you're not behind the chains as you get to come out under the center here on 3rd and 1. We'll see what they do. Gabriel Davis in motion, fake, and we see Devin Singletary picks
he got it.
The first down, and they move the chains. The Rams do come in and get Devin Singletary there for a short game, but he is able to move the sticks.
Again, a situation where you'd think they bring in Zach Moss on a short yard. They said Singletary has got the hot hand. Let's just keep going with him. And Devin Singletary, again, you cannot stress enough how much of a half he is having by himself. You got to think, though, going into the halftime here, of course, we still have 10 minutes, that if this is going to be that game plan, the Rams really need to make some adjustments to be able to stop Devin Singletary.
Josh Allen drops back to pass. He has plenty of time. He moves the pocket, and he has Jamison Crowder in the back of the end zone, wide open. And that's where you get the dynamic ability of Josh Allen to create time, make things happen, and throw it on the run, gives his receivers extra time. And we see the new man with his first touchdown as a Buffalo Bill, Jamison Crowder.
And just look at how much time Josh Allen has here. It is absolutely ridiculous. Somebody is going to be open there. And did he have possession? I am going to say, yes, he did. I mean, they're probably not going to challenge it anyway. Of course, again, this is Madden as the Bills go for the extra point here.
Tyler Bass with the kick, and he's 2 for 2 on extra points, 3 for 3 kicking overall today. And hey, I said it, if the Bills get a touchdown here with the Rams not being able to move the ball against this defense, it's not looking great for this offense.
No, the Rams really need to get something going before going into the half, because they're going to have some adjustments to make on defense, and they're really going to need to make some on offense, having absolutely no answer for this Buffalo Bills defense. And how is this for subverting expectations? We have Jamison Crowder here having a great game, and also Devin Singletary having a great game. Two guys that, if you polled most of the people that surround the Buffalo Bills, might not have said we're going to have the best game here against the Los Angeles Rams, the defending Super Bowl champs.
I think when you look at this team, I don't think very many people expected Devin Singletary and Jameson Crowder to be the guys, the difference makers that are putting the Buffalo Bills ahead of the defending Super Bowl champions. As Cooper Cup brings it out to the 20-yard line, still 5 yards less than he would have gotten if he would have taken a knee or let the ball bounce into the end zone. But you have to be encouraged by the fact that you haven't even needed to use Josh Allen in this game to his full capacity. And we still got special glimpses of how special he is. And the Bills are up 3 scores on the defending champions.
That just goes to show you that while the Rams did win the Super Bowl last year, the Buffalo Bills are Super Bowl favorites for a reason. This is one of the most sound teams in the NFL.
As we see Jordan Poyer and Matt Milano combine on the tackle, they lose 3 yards on the play, and Sean McVay is not happy with the way his offense looks.
No, as he should not be, because they have not been able to do anything against this stout Bills defense. And just for everybody who's probably wondering, again, this is Madden, so you are going to get some things, especially like one of the friends, I guess, came online during my recording of this whenever I was out. So what a good play there. Matt Stafford to Tyler Higbee.
Matt Stafford finds his tight end Tyler Higbee for a gain, and he was wide open underneath. Maybe they were defending the deep ball, and he came underneath and just found himself totally alone.
Completely. As you can tell, he's out there all by himself, and he's able to get a modest gain to give the Rams maybe a little bit of a momentum boost here, but definitely the favor all with the Bills.
Well, we see the Rams are going to run again, and they're not going anywhere. Big Ed Oliver expected to have a great season this year, and he is not disappointing in week 1.
Definitely not disappointing. This whole defensive line for the Buffalo Bills seems to be one that over the last couple of years, they've been trying to put it together, figure out who's going to be what, but now they have a combination of older players returning, new superstars. It's definitely going to be one as they get, I believe, that is Tyler Higbee again.
Matt Stafford having a ton of success going to his tight ends today. Not a lot of success going to his wide receivers. He's created a few passes, but he's going underneath a lot, and it seems to be working so far in this drive.
It definitely is, and maybe he needs to go to it a little bit more. Bills secondary, again, one of the best ones in the NFL.
Matt Stafford back to pass. He's under pressure. Deep throw. It is caught by Allen Robinson over the rookie Kaiir Elam. And he gets his first touchdown as a Los Angeles Rams.
And that is what you're going to get when you have an unexperienced rookie corner going up against one of the premier wide receivers in the NFL. You're going to get plays like this where the more experienced Robinson knows how to play the position and to get up there to where only he's going to catch that ball. And Kaiir Elam, just welcome to the NFL moment for him right there.
How about your Super Bowl MVP, your Super Bowl champion quarterback, Matthew Stafford, throwing that pass beautifully, only to his wide receiver to get it under pressure. That was a great throw right there.
It definitely was a great throw by Matt Stafford. And look, that's what you're paying Matt Stafford to do. He needs to do these things to be able to keep the Los Angeles Rams in this game. But again, the offense can only do so much. This Rams defense almost also at fault just as much as their offense is, not being able to stop the Buffalo Bills for very long. And they are the reason why there are 17 points up on that board. And the longer that the Rams offense keeps stalling out and can't do anything, the harder it's going to become for that defense to keep up.
And of course, that Bills secondary giving up the fewest deep throws last season. You don't see that very much, but they do get a deep pass on the rookie Kaiir Elam with no safety help. So we'll see what they do in continuing in the game. And for the first time this quarter, the Bills get not great field position as they only get it to their own 18-yard line. But again, we've seen Devin Singletary, what he can do so far today. He comes back on the field along with Josh Allen and his high-powered offense.
Yeah, and I think that the momentum is all in the Bills' favor right now. They could start at the 1 yard line with Josh Allen. It looks like his superstar X factor getting heated up here. I think that this is going to be, no matter where you are on the field, this Bills team is still dangerous.
Speaking of superstar X factors, the best there ever was Aaron Donald on the tackle. He stops Devin Singletary for a 1 yard gain. We haven't seen a lot of Aaron Donald today, and that's really the first play he's made. He's up there against Roger Saffold, and he does get past Saffold there on that play, but he's been relatively quiet today.
He has been, and that's just a testament to this offensive line of the Bills really gelling at the end of last season and then upgrading with players that around the league have been touted as studs, at least for the last couple of years, solid players. And with the addition of Aaron Cromer, their new offensive line coach, somebody who's had some of the most success, even with the Rams during the year that they went to their first Super Bowl, in this Sean McVay era. Definitely a great combination and why the Buffalo Bills offensive line is having success today.
Josh Allen finds Gabriel Davis on to get the first down. He play action, drops back. He finds his superstar wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, 2-time All-Pro. Stephon Diggs here, one of the best wide receivers in this game, and he's showing it right there versus this Rams defense and Jalen Ramsey, who a lot of people consider the best corner in the NFL.
Definitely just finding that hole in that wide open zone. You can't leave a guy and a superstar like Stephon Diggs that wide open with Josh Allen throwing it to him. He's going to throw it to him all day.
And the Bills are already past midfield. Singletary gets the ball again. He's going nowhere. He gets a gain of nothing on the play. They'll move the chains to the 40-yard line, however. And the Rams defense expecting to run a little bit more. They're shutting it down, making Josh Allen have to throw the ball a little bit more. Setting up 2nd and 10, and Josh Allen's back under center.
Not something we thought we'd be hearing from you today, saying that they want the ball in Josh Allen's hands with Devin Singletary ripping off a big run.
Devin Singletary on the play. We saw them get shut down on first down, and we're thinking the Rams defense is maybe keying in on it a little bit, and Devin Singletary says, nuh-uh. He takes it for a gain of 13.
You got to love it there. Again, Devin Singletary, a big factor in the Bills' success here today. And just to bring up what you said again, the fact that you're playing the Bills now saying, no, we want the ball in Josh Allen's hands, that doesn't feel like a really good option for them. But Josh Allen dropping back here again with a hit to Dawson Knox. Again, so many weapons.
He finds his tight end, who he's so popular, who he's so comfortable with. And like you said, there's so many weapons to go around.
So many weapons here on this Bills offense to where it's going to be hard for not just the Rams here, but plenty of defenses in the NFL to be able to absolutely take away every single weapon that the Bills have out here on display.
Josh Allen comes out on 1st and 10 in the red zone under center. Devin Singletary is going to take it down to the 1-yard line. Devin Singletary has 87 yards rushing here in the first half. The Buffalo Bills have over 250 total yards. This offense is humming.
And the Los Angeles Rams fans letting the Rams hear it. They are getting absolutely torched by Devin Singletary. If you're the Rams here, I think that you should sell out and do not let them beat you with a run up the middle. I think that the only thing here, they need to get creative, or Josh Allen needs to use his legs.
And we see a pass on 1st and goal. Josh Allen is using his legs, and he gets his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah.
Josh
Allen, again, a weapon in this red zone with his legs. You can sell out to stop the run up the middle. Josh Allen had all day walking right into that end zone to get that touchdown, putting the Rams down big. And again, many people might think, oh, this is on a Buffalo Bills YouTube channel. This is rigged somehow. I showed the rules. Nothing has been altered except for the quarterback ratings, which actually made both quarterbacks better. Other than that, every team is equal and exactly the way that they are in the league today.
As we see Josh Allen, who's really hasn't even been used very much in today's game. Devin Singletary has been the man of the show so far. But you look at Josh Allen, he has more rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in NFL history through his first 4 seasons, and he gets his first one in week 7. How dangerous is he in the red zone with his legs?
He is so dangerous. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that you have to sit there and game plan for in this league that no matter where they are on the field, no matter what happens, you can scheme. He's not a absolute statue in the pocket. This guy can move. So you have to game plan not just for that, not the wide receivers, not just the running backs, and get back there and get pressure on the quarterback because he's going to be a statue and fall down. No, Josh Allen will run all over the field. He is as dangerous of a runner as most running backs are in this league.
As we see Matthew Stafford's numbers there, for what you want to say about this offense, not being able to move the ball very much, he is 9 of 15 for 125 yards passing in the first quarter and a half of the game. So his numbers don't look bad, although this Rams offense does not look very good. As we see his wide receiver coming in motion, he gives it to Cam Akers, and Cam Akers is going nowhere.
Again,
Big Tremaine Edmonds on the tackle.
This is exactly also we can see number 90, Daquan Jones, back in. That's why they brought him in, to be able to make the job of Tremaine Edmonds a little bit easier for what holes he is able to find and to stop the run like that, because that's the kind of linebacker that they hope that he can be in this league with Matt Stafford dropping back.
Matt Stafford with plenty of time, although we do see big number 99 over there, Shaq Lawson, creating some pressure on him, forcing him to throw the ball away. And the Rams defense is over there on the sideline, and they do not look happy. Very dysfunctional, throwing water bottles at each other. This Bills offense is clearly frustrating them.
Obviously, it looks like that they have no answers for this test. They definitely did not study, it seems, but it doesn't look like that they can really do anything here. And their reluctance to air the ball out and to just keep running it is in their detriment. This Bills defensive line not letting them get anything.
See, so Jake, you're down here by 17 points. You're in your own 20-yard line. It's 3rd and 8, and you have Matt Stafford, who you're paying millions upon millions of dollars, and you do a draw play here in the first half. What are we seeing from Sean McVay and the Rams right here?
It's really looking like the Rams are playing to just get to halftime, because whatever their answers are and what they thought they were going to have against this Buffalo Bills team, they are not right, and they need to go back to the drawing board. I feel like every time Josh Allen steps out on the field, they are holding their breath because they do not seem to be able to stop this Bills offense at all.
So we see the man of, well, not the man of the hour. Devin Singletary is clearly the man of the hour, but Josh Allen is not having a bad half either. He's 13 and 17 with 148 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's having himself a pretty good game as the Bills start their drive here at their own 42. Great field position. Gabriel Davis in motion. Josh Allen drops back to pass. He's moving his feet. He's running. He's going to slide down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5. So, again, moving ahead of the sticks. Josh Allen using his feet a little bit there.
Definitely. Josh Allen, again, is much of a weapon with his arm and his legs. It is definitely something that you have to look out for and game plan for. Right now, Josh Allen is hot, and it doesn't look like the Rams defense can stop him.
Quick pass from Josh Allen. Oh, my goodness.
That's the kind of play that the Rams need.
Dawson Knox with the catch. He is leveled on the play and fumbles. He coughs it up, and the Rams recover.
And I believe that's Bobby Wagner on the hit.
Ooh.
What a hit by Bobby Wagner.
That was quite a hit. And Dawson Knox, who's known for, dropping passes from time to time in his first couple seasons, and he fumbles the ball right there in a crucial moment right before half. And the Rams start with their best field position so far today at their own at the Buffalo 42-yard line.
And they have to hope that they can capitalize on this, because right now this is the best chance they have all day to put some more points up on the board to at least keep this game somewhat competitive against the Buffalo Bills.
Cooper Kupp in motion. He gets the pass and he fakes the inside, goes outside, gets himself a nice little gain on first down. 6-yard gain for Cooper Kupp on the short pass.
Definitely. Cooper Kupp, again, another guy that they really need to utilize. Just look at this Rams offense. You have Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, Cam Akers in the back, and they are just not able to do anything. That's just a testament of how elite the Buffalo Bills defensive coaching staff is.
Speaking of not being able to do anything, they go back to Cam Akers on second down. Shaq Lawson says, "No,
Definitely. Shaq Lawson, again, brought back. He was on their 2019 defense that was one of the best, I believe, number 3 in the league when it came to defenses all around. And Shaq Lawson coming back here after bouncing around to a couple of teams, still being that run-stopping outside linebacker that everybody knows he can be.
You can't put a tight end on a guy like Shaq Lawson with his energy and expect them to take him out." But Matt Stafford drops back the pass. He has plenty of time. He makes the throw, and he misses his tight end, who was open. That would have been first down in the red zone, but instead now we're going to see the kicker take the field, and missed opportunity there for the Rams offense.
Definitely a missed opportunity. If you're the Rams there, you have to get more than 3 points down here. I mean, still, it's a 2-score game. Okay, yes, now it's a 2-score game. But I don't know, man. There's something here that seems as though the Buffalo Bills know something, and it feels like these two teams are on two completely different levels, even though one of them is the defending Super Bowl champs.
And even so, it's still only a 2-score game. The Rams need 2 touchdowns to bring it back. There's 2 minutes and 42 seconds until halftime, and they get points on the board. But to be fair, Jake, that drive, they didn't get very many yards. And really, the only reason they had that good field position to get points on the board there was because of the fumble by Dawson Knox.
Definitely. They need to capitalize on mistakes like that. Again, Bobby Wagner laying that huge hit on Dawson Knox for that turnover. Most players in the league probably have felt that, especially those in the NFC West. Bobby Wagner, a hell of a player. And definitely, we haven't seen this much from the Bills' kick return game today, but definitely doesn't seem to be to the detriment of the team, as they're still able to methodically move this ball.
Josh Allen, 14 of 18, as he only completed 1 pass on the previous drive, which was to Dawson Knox before he fumbled the ball away. The Bills start here at their own 19-yard line. Both special teams, coverage teams, looking really, really good today so far. Josh Allen under center. We'll see what they do on first down. He fakes it to Devin Singletary. We got play action. Josh Allen's plenty of time. Aaron Donald looked like he was creating pressure, but not before Josh Allen could get the ball to the third-year man out of UCF, your alma mater, Gabriel Davis.
Definitely. Gabriel Davis, again, is one of those guys that if you give him enough time, he will be able to find that open spot. And again, with so many weapons out there on the field, you're going to have to let somebody open. And Gabe Davis was the guy on that drive.
Bills come out under center. Are they going to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning? They do. Devin Singletary is hit hard by Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner in here laying in these massive hits. Definitely one of the only ones that looks like has the energy out there on that Rams defense. Like you said, the special teams doesn't look bad, but that's all about all you can say for the Rams today.
Bobby Wagner definitely out there making plays. Josh Allen drops back to pass, quick throw. He finds Jamison Crowder for a pretty decent gain. It's going to be second and short at the gain of 6 there on second down.
Definitely. Jamison Crowder, again, needs to be that reliable weapon for Josh Allen, and it looks like just getting a huge chunk of yards wide open out there. that Josh Allen is very, very comfortable with this man in his first year in the system.
Josh Allen drops back again. He finds him again. As you mentioned, he's comfortable with him in the system so far. Josh Allen just shy of 200 yards on the day so far, and a lot of them are to Jameson Crowder, as he has 60 yards so far today, 59 yards today. This Bills offense moving the chains yet again.
Definitely. And you got to love to see Jamison Crowder, rather, coming from a team like the New York Jets, who, I mean, let's face it, their offense isn't exactly, they're rebuilding right now. So
Josh Allen steps up and finds Gabriel Davis again, Mr. UCF, Mr. Glue Hands. So many nicknames for this guy, but we all just know him as Gabe. He makes another great play for this offense, and they're moving the chains. They're down inside the Rams' 40-yard line with 1:15 to go.
83 yards already today for Gabe Davis. Again, Josh Allen spreading the wealth. The Rams just do not have an option in their secondary outside of Jalen Ramsey to really be able to hold these guys down.
Josh Allen drops back to pass again. He has plenty of time again. Steps up again, and Gabe Davis in the end zone.
With the touchdown, Gabe Davis just absolutely destroying whoever that cornerback was.
Gabriel Davis with another play. Josh Allen throws the high point. Gabe Davis makes it happen. And oh my goodness, is Gabe Davis a budding superstar?
I definitely do believe so. And if this is to be any semblance of what he is going to be during the regular season, again, Gabe Davis really good on the sidelines and high pointing balls. A lot of people might say that it kind of remembers, it kind of has you harken back to guys like DeAndre Hopkins when it comes to the high point. And it comes to Larry Fitzgerald with the high points, a guy that Gabriel Davis has said that he models his game after. Definitely not the worst players that you could be modeling your game after, for sure.
Tyler Bass puts the ball through on the extra point, and he stays perfect so far in this game and on the season. Tyler Bass, someone who is quite underrated here in the AFC. He started off his rookie year a little shaky, but he's been money ever since.
Definitely. Tyler Bass, one of the premier kickers in the league. Of course, still being young, not having the name out there. Tyler Bass makes some big-time kicks that is able to keep these Buffalo Bills in some games sometimes, especially over the last couple of years. Had a rough starting out, but in turn eventually found his way and has been consistent ever since.
Cooper Kupp takes the ball to the 20-yard line, and the Rams have 49 seconds to make something happen. Now, they cannot go into the halftime down by 3 touchdowns. I don't know what you're going to see from Sean McVay here. What do you think they're going to see from Sean McVay here? Are they going to be conservative, or are they just going to take this into halftime?
I really feel like the Rams need to take this in the halftime. Whatever they've been trying to do on offense just has not been working. So I could see a couple of shots here, but really with 49 seconds left, I don't know what exactly they're going to change here. But if they do, they got to find something.
He dumps it off to his man Cam Akers down there at the 21-yard line. He gets a gain of 1. Cam Akers has 2 receptions for -3 yards. So he is working toward being in the plus territory there. And they stop the clock because he is out of bounds. They come in on second down with the ball under center. Matt Stafford drops back to pass. He has some time to work with. He finds his wide receiver. That's Allen Robinson again, but he doesn't get out of bounds. Timeout Rams. Allen Robinson having a pretty good day in this first half.
Definitely. He's been 4 receptions for 102 yards. Allen Robinson, one of the only weapons that Matt Stafford has really been able to take advantage of. But when you look at Matt Stafford's stats, he's thrown it to Cooper Kupp. Tyler Higbee has also been very well. But it just seems to be that the play calling has been so inconsistent and have been trying to go to the run with the mix of the pass, and it just hasn't been working out for them. So maybe throwing the ball right now, they've been driving down the field. This might be the way for them.
Matt Stafford finds Van Jefferson for another nice gain, and now they're at their I'm sorry, they're at the Buffalo 33, and they're looking like they're doing pretty good. They've only had to use 2 timeouts, and they're at the Buffalo 33-yard line now. They're in scoring position, so we'll see what they can do. Matt Stafford drops back the pass on 1st and 10. Von Miller creating pressure. Bad throw. Bad throw. Kyer Elam, the rookie, with his first touchdown pass, his first interception in the NFL.
Definitely. I think Kyer Elam, again, this is his first ever NFL interception. What a good one to get right now with the Bills being up so far. What a dagger for that drive if you're the Los Angeles Rams.
As we see Gabriel Davis's number on the screen, 6 catches, 102 yards, and Buffalo Bills offense is going to start here at the 20-yard line. You really probably shouldn't expect to see too much. You kind of got to be happy going into the half here, 31-10 up on the defending Super Bowl champions.
Definitely. I couldn't see another, again, Mafia King in the comments section. Kyer Gator Elam, yes, from the Florida Gators. Kyer Elam being one of those guys that was picked that maybe some people thought was a little bit of a reach, but if you look into it, this guy is definitely worthy of the first-round pick that the Buffalo Bills used on him. And Gabe Davis, again, right there on the sideline. That is what he does. That is his game. And the Rams, again, just looking like they are not able to do anything against Josh Allen in this offense.
Gabe Davis is Mr. Sideline. Josh Allen drops back the pass. He dumps it off to Stephon Diggs. That's incomplete. Josh Allen is 20 of 25 for 247 yards in this first half. I mean, just 2 drives ago, it really looked like it was a game that, could be won by anybody, and whoever got hot. Well, we see the Buffalo Bills have gotten hot here.
Definitely, and it looks like the Rams have kind of coasted. They were very aggressive on that last drive towards the end of the half, but it looks like here that time is going to run down unless there was a timeout called, but it should be continuing to run down, yes, and it looks like this will probably take us into halftime, Justus.
That will take us into halftime. And I have a question. That number 29, was that James Cook? Was that his first carry in the NFL?
I do believe that is James Cook.
Cook gets his first carry in the NFL for 3 yards, and the Buffalo Bills take it into halftime, 31-10 over the defending champions. They've had the time of possession. They've had better yards in both the passing and the run game. The Bills have really just dominated this game so far.
Definitely. So that's going to take us into halftime. And of course, that means that we got to do this, we got to do that. And we're back, Justus. Halftime. Okay, first of all, when we did this again, we did not know anything. The only thing that I knew is what the score was, 0-0, when I hit start simming. And then I left, and then I'm not even the one who stopped the recording. My girlfriend stopped the recording of this game for me because I cannot see that final score at the end. So what it looks like here is that Madden absolutely has the Buffalo Bills outclassing the Los Angeles Rams in almost every way. Do you think that that's actually realistic?
Yeah, and what's even more impressive to me is how the Buffalo Bills did it in the game, which it looked a little odd at first, but looking back on it, if I saw that week 1, I wouldn't be upset. If Devin Singletary was able to get it going like that, and you could have the run game be a very prominent part of the offense and move the chains and put points on the board, and then in crunch time when it's late in the second half and you got to throw it a little bit and you can still have that option, and Josh Allen is finding Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs and Jameson Cry. It looks really, really good, and I was really happy with the way the offense and the defense played in that first half. Allen Robinson got us a little bit. He got us a little bit, which, you can expect probably.
Yeah, that was a huge play by Allen Robinson over Kyer Elam, but Kyer Elam gets him back with the stopper at the end of that half with getting that interception, dude. Like, I like the way that this Bills team is operating right now. Obviously, I don't know if it's entirely realistic, but it could be. Again, I think the Bills are going to take every single game, and you're not going to see the same Bills strategy every single game. You might have a game where Devin Singletary gets the ball 25 times and just absolutely is running on a team if they don't want to respect the run, which it looks like the Rams, at least at the beginning of this game, were expecting the Bills to throw it all over them, and the Bills just kept handing the ball off. And if it wasn't Devin Singletary, it was Josh Allen's legs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm honestly a little shocked. I was expecting to see a little more James Cook than Zach Moss, but it looks like Zach Moss is out there, getting carries. And the one thing that was a little, it was odd because like it now feels like, with this current team, it's almost like they trust the run game until they don't have to. And then when they don't, and then when they, can't trust the run game, they have to rely on the passing game. You have a guy like Josh Allen who is a stud, of course, and he's out there making plays happen. He's moving his feet, and he looks really, really good.
Yeah, dude, he looks great. You guys have better commentary too than Monday Night
Appreciate
Football.
it. This is our first go, guys.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like we've never even practiced this before.
No, we didn't at all. Literally, I'll tell you exactly how this went. It came in and it was, Justus, you want to do play-by-play? Okay, I'll do color commentary. Like that's pretty much all it has been. And right now, again, sometimes we're trying to find that balance of when to talk and then when not. So
But bro, I think we killed it in our first. For us, never done any doing this before, we were pretty damn good with it.
I think it was pretty decent as well. Again, this is a Madden simulation, so we kind of had this. Of course, by the time we're at like number 10 of this, we're probably going to be better than Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. I mean, even though
week 17,
come on,
yeah,
I mean, come on, we're going to be better than Collinsworth and Michaels. Okay, like I mean, I think both of us already are better than Collins.
Yeah, I was about to say,
so
terrible.
So like, and we're being unbiased. I swear, if you listen to us again, the only thing that you can get is if you look at the score right now. I mean, there's no reason why we shouldn't be saying that the Rams are not, it doesn't look like they got hard out there because it doesn't look like they do. That Rams defense is getting lit up right now. And I swear, when you see scores like this, you got to think that it's rigged. But like all we did, Madden is so weird, dude. In real life, I think this is going to be a much closer game. But, I think that Bills defensive line could literally like, that matchup and what we're seeing right now, the Bills defensive line against that Rams offensive line, Matt Stafford's had time back there. If you've been watching this game just like we have, he's had plenty of time back there, but he's also been pressured a lot too.
Yeah, he has been pressured.
And his problem is when for some reason he's having all that pressure back there or not having that pressure back there on some plays, and he's what it looks like. Okay, who's he throwing it to? Someone's got to get open. This Buffalo Bills secondary with Dane Jackson as cornerback 1 and Kyer Elam as cornerback 2 are still holding down the fort, especially when you got a great safety duo back there in Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
Yeah, and if your quarterback is out here throwing for 250 at halftime and your running back is out here running for like 87 at halftime, then I mean a little 105 yards to Allen Robinson. If he's the only one doing anything, that doesn't hurt too much, Like literally the only reason they have 70% of their points is because Allen Robinson made a great play on a rookie. And, with no safety help, which chances are we probably won't see that too much in this Bills defense in like real life. So the simulation looks like it's in our favor.
Yeah, and somehow Allen Robinson being lined up on Kyer Elam when he should be going against Dane Jackson, but I haven't seen Dane Jackson's name at all. And honestly, that's a good thing because he's holding down Van Jefferson every single time that he's playing him. So that Bills secondary getting the job done, per se, making it a lot harder. Again, if your defensive line is good and your secondary is good, that secondary holding them down is going to give your defensive line more time to be able to get to that quarterback. And we're seeing it here today. That whole defensive line is looking great. Of course, I'm going to sit here and we're getting ready to go into halftime here. So again, our score right now is, let's see, you can be better than Collinsworth falling out of bed in the morning. Yeah, probably. I probably do a lot less kiss assing, I think I can say that right now, than Chris Collinsworth does. So I definitely think that going into the second half, and I'll make sure to fix my camera so it's not as blurry, but going into the second half, I think that what the Rams really need to do is just they need to throw the ball more. We've already seen it. The Rams are definitely trying to force the issue of running the ball, and it is just not working for them. They are definitely in, like, when it comes to what they need to be doing on offense, they're going in the wrong direction. Every single time that we've seen them try to push the issue of throwing the ball on, because again, they're throwing against a rookie in Dane Jackson, who I'm not entirely sure if I remember what their overalls are, but I'm pretty sure Kyer Elam's overall from the roster that I downloaded was better than Dane Jackson, and he's still only CB2. So Dane Jackson, not seeing his name out there at all is very, very concerning, because you'd think that having a guy still with Van Jefferson has better. He is not doing anything on the field either. And Matt Stafford is not utilizing all these weapons. So while we wait for Justus to come in here, the Rams really need to focus on throwing the ball more, because it seems like they've had some success, especially over the middle. So definitely the Rams need to do that if they want to come back in this game. But this Buffalo Bills defensive line has looked absolutely beautiful, and they are going out there and doing exactly what they are being paid to do. Again, the Buffalo Bills have had one of the highest paid defensive lines the last 3 years with nothing really to show for it. They've gotten the pressure, but they've never really gotten sacks. Matt Stafford's day is a living hell right now. So while we wait for Justus to come back, I'm going to hurry up and get the second half set up for you guys so that when he does come back, we can go into that. And of course, at the end of the show, we're going to do a post game, also going to be about 10 minutes, kind of like this. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to break down all of this. I think the hot air coming out of someone's butt could do a better job over Collinsworth. I love that one. You guys are definitely having a lot of fun down there in the comment section. Let's get the second half loaded up here. And I'm going to keep that there because, of course, we got to be ready for this, Justus. You ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. So again, we're going to put everything up there. This is the second half. Again, the Buffalo Bills have absolutely been going ham on these Los Angeles Rams, dude. It has been quite, I don't know, Justus, what do you think? Like, I want to say that the Rams shouldn't be doing this, but there just seems to be plenty of mismatches here.
Yeah, it does. It does seem to be a lot of mismatches. It seems really realistic, honestly. It seems like I could see the game going exactly like this. The Bills just are talented in so many positions that I could see the Rams being overwhelmed and not having very, very much to work with, especially seeing what they did in the Super Bowl against the Bengals defense. They weren't really able to make a ton happen. And when you have to face a superior quarterback like Josh Allen on the other side of the field, then that's going to be an issue.
Definitely. And, you know, I would have to say that the Rams in the Super Bowl definitely didn't look their best. They made a few plays and they got out of there with that Super Bowl championship. But I got to say here, they're a significantly worse team. Again, Von Miller switching sides here on the Buffalo Bills definitely was a big player for them, especially down the stretch. Again, if you guys don't know, we are your commentators, Jake Jordan and Justus Radford, and we are going to get right back into second half action.
Josh Allen drops back and hands it to Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary now has 90 yards on the day. So he didn't break the century mark at halftime, but he has 90 now at the start of the half. Buffalo Bills, of course, received because they deferred to start the game. And they look like, you know, they're going to keep with the same game plan. They're starting with the run game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So I definitely think that Josh Allen here is going to have to
Make a great throw, great play by Josh Allen. It is thrown really high to Gabe Davis, and he has to go up and make a play on the ball. He does get knocked down, and the pass falls incomplete.
Definitely. I'm very curious to see what the Bills are going to do in the second half here, because it looks like they did a little bit of everything. I'd like to see them go to the air a little bit more.
As they do, and they get it out to James Cook. He is short of the first down, but rookie James Cook gets his first catch in the NFL. A gain of 7 on the play. Buffalo Bills are going to punt.
Yeah, I think that's what you draft James Cook to do, is that he's going to be as much of a part as of your passing game than he is your running game. And right there, just being open underneath, hoping that maybe he'd be able to turn upfield and get the yards needed for the first down, but he doesn't in the end. But still, having that weapon there, again, we're going to keep saying it over and over again during this, the Buffalo Bills' abundance of weapons is ridiculous.
And the Rams have to feel good about that stop. They were not able to stop Josh Allen in this offense in the first half. Cooper Kupp is taken down for no gain. And the Rams at least start at better field position than they have in most of their drives so far. They are at the 24-yard line, and we just see the pressure this defensive line has brought to the MVP, favorite to win the MVP, one of the favorites. And he's not looked good tonight because the Bills defense has just been all over him.
Definitely. The Rams offensive line has not been able to stop this Bills defense at all. And they are definitely making it harder for Matt Stafford, who, again, last year put up 4,800 yards with 67% completion. And right now, it's just looking like he's scared back there.
And he does look timid as he drops back while under center. He finds his tight end again. 3 yards on the play. He has been really comfortable with his tight end so far, and he hasn't been able to let his run game do anything. The Buffalo Bills have allowed 9 rushing yards in the game so far.
And we've brought it up that it seems as if the Rams' point of attack is trying to have a balance of running and throwing the ball. But the most success that they've had during this game is when they have thrown the ball over the middle and tried to eat up chunks of the field. But when they run the ball, they just cannot do anything.
Edmonds and Poyer on the line. We look like we might see a blitz, and we do. Daquan Jones takes down Matt Stafford. Wow, this Bills defensive line is not letting Stafford breathe on a lot of these plays. He is getting pressure left and right.
They're doing exactly what they are paid to do. Justice, again, the Bills are paying this to be one of the highest paid defensive lines in the NFL, and they are going out here and proving why they are worth that money.
3rd and 12, you get the good yardage on first down and get a sack on second, and now you're right back in long distance, and Matt Stafford just throws it away. And wow, down by 21 points here. Your defense gets you a stop in the beginning of the second half, and now you're about to give the ball right back to maybe the best player on the planet in Josh Allen. Yeah, if you're a Rams fan, you have to hope Matt Stafford's able to make something happen there.
Definitely one of those moments, like I told you, Matt Stafford having a ton of time, but not being able to find anything. His receivers not having anything available to him down the field and making him have to throw it away on a crucial down there. The offensive line playing well on that one play and it not working out for the Rams.
254 passing yards for Josh Allen, 21 of 27. His numbers are looking very, very good. He is the early favorite for MVP, but he's playing another early favorite for MVP. They're duking it out, and it's looking very one-sided so far. Josh Allen hands it to
James Cook.
James Cook gets a good game on the play. 6 yards on the carry. We're now starting to see a little bit more of the rookie in the backfield.
Definitely. I think that the only reason we saw so much of Devin Singletary in the first is because they were ready to unleash their rookie in the second half. Of course, they're going to get him in the mix with Zach Moss in on third downs, third and shorts. I definitely think that there you go with a pass to Stephon Diggs over the middle.
And Diggs
5
is getting
guys to take
extra
him down.
yards.
James
Now,
Cook coming
Jake,
in to help him out.
Jake, one of the things the Bills wanted to exercise and enforce a little bit more this season was yards after the catch. Your
Yes.
superstar wide receiver there, Stephon Diggs, moves the chains, and he gets a lot of yards after the catch on what seemed to be about a 10-yard throw. He takes it for 27.
Yep, turns it upfield again. The Bills really need yards after catch guys, and that's why they bring in guys like Jamison Crowder and James Cook, guys that can turn upfield and have that burst that are able to get a few more yards from a play. And right there, Jalen Ramsey finally getting Josh Allen.
Josh Allen gets picked off by Jalen Ramsey. Looked like a miscommunication on the play. There was really no pressure to be had. It looks like maybe Josh was expecting one of his receivers to maybe be somewhere that he wasn't, and we get to see Matt Stafford come back on the field. Numbers don't look as good as Josh Allen's, but they're not bad. 14 to 20 points for 181, a touchdown, and a pick.
Yeah, you would think that with those stats that he has, that the Los Angeles Rams would at least have more than 10 points, but they do not. And again, not starting in the best field position as the Bills were driving down the field about where they would be if they had just taken a knee in the end zone with Matt Stafford throwing an incomplete pass there to absolutely nobody.
These offenses cannot get their screen game going. They've been missing the running backs all day so far. It looks like they're a little timid because of the pressure that's been getting to them so far.
Yeah, and as a lot of people are bringing typical Madden, yes, that is something that for some reason Madden and those screen passes, especially with the CPU, have not really gotten that down. You think they would after, about like 5 years of the same game coming out, but they don't do that. So I definitely think Allen Robinson there with that pass, just setting up a third and manageable.
Absolutely. 3rd and 6 on the 2nd-yard completion for 4 yards to Allen Robinson. Matthew Stafford is dropping back for pass. Good throw. Cooper Kupp. He's going to get the first down. He finds the soft spot in the zone, tackled by Matt Milano.
And I feel like I keep saying this over and over again. This is what they need to do, is attack the middle of the field with some of these speed guys that they have and just try to march down the field and get something going here on this offense. Don't keep going back to the run game after you're having successes like that.
Matt Stafford, taking your advice, drop back to pass. They're going to make the screenplay happen again, and it doesn't happen for them this time. They complete the pass, but it's for minimal yardage. They get 3 yards on the game. We've seen chunk plays from this Ram offense, but other than that, it's been virtually nothing.
So inconsistent, and that's part of the reason why they're down so big, is just they cannot put a drive together against this Bills defense. They always do one thing that'll look right and then take 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
And they run it, and Tremaine Edmonds is all over the football field right now. Cam Akers has 11 carries. He has 10 yards rushing. Tremaine Edmonds has 5 yards tackled. He has 5 tackles. How important is he to this defense?
Tremaine Edmonds is a very important part to this defense, and he is so young. And of course, that is one thing that everyone brings up, is that a lot of the people still coming into the league with a huge
interception.
2 on the day for Kaiir Elam.
The rookie making it happen. The first year man out of Florida. He comes to Buffalo. He is making an impact in his first game as a pro. He gave up the touchdown in the first quarter, but he's been lights out ever since.
Yeah, and he absolutely read Matt Stafford on that throw and was able to get that ball before it even got to the target. Great on Kaiir Elam again. With Trey White being out until probably around week 7, that is what you are hoping for when it comes to your first-round draft pick.
The Buffalo Bills are set to take the field here. They get the ball in great field position. They're down close to midfield, 3 yards out of the Rams territory. Josh Allen under center. He drops back to pass. He's going to let the ball fire over the middle. Tries to hit his new target, O.J. Howard. The pass is broken up, and it is 2nd and 10.
That is another thing that we haven't brought up too, is Dawson Knox being a great tight end for the Buffalo Bills last year. Buffalo Bills decide to bring in O.J. Howard as the backup tight end, which gives them another weapon to throw it to. You can't talk enough about the embarrassment of riches that is the Buffalo Bills after a pass to Isaiah McKenzie.
And in addition to the embarrassment of riches, the ball has been spread around all over the place. We've seen Devin Singletary with the ball, James Cook, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Jameson Crowder, Dawson Knox, O.J. Howard got a pass attempt. And now we also see Devin Singletary in the mix. Josh Allen is giving the ball to everybody, and he's making it happen here on 3rd and short. We'll see what they do in Buffalo territory. They give it to said man, Devin Singletary, breaking it loose down inside the Los Angeles 30-yard line.
Yeah, Devin Singletary again, a force in this game, and I think that finally puts him over 100 yards on the day.
Indeed it does, Jake.
And that is something that's important. The fact that you can spread the ball around passing as much as Josh Allen does, and also have your running back run for over 100 yards, just tells you the absolute command that this Buffalo Bills offense has had.
This Bills offensive line is looking mighty fine today, brother. All right, we see Stephon Diggs in motion. Josh Allen drops back the pass. He has some time, and he gets it to Stephon Diggs. The nice game looks to be 5 yards on the play. Stephon Diggs making another play, and Josh Allen methodically moving his football down the field again.
It would not surprise me if every single Bills receiver, Maine, Bills receiver, Diggs, Davis, and Jameson Crowder all finished with over 100 yards today, the way that Josh Allen is just absolutely divvying it up around them as Gabe Davis makes another spectacular sideline catch.
Was that Gabe Davis? That was
Isaiah
McKenzie.
McKenzie.
And Isaiah McKenzie, one you didn't mention, and he gets his second catch of the game. He's got some big chunk yards as well, and the Bills are inside the Rams red zone. And look, man, say what you want, about the throw and about errant passes from Josh Allen. He's balling today. He drops back the pass again. We'll see what he does. He finds Devin Singletary out the backfield, and maybe you like to see a better block there from the lead man, but they get 6 yards on the play.
Yeah, and Devin Singletary again. The Bills, the way that they run their offense right now, to harken it back to a bygone era, Thurman Thomas being an all-around back, being able to catch the ball and run the ball was important for the Bills in the 90s. And with what they run today, they need a back like that. And if Devin Singletary or James Cook can be it, then Josh Allen pulling it down.
Josh Allen with his second rushing touchdown of the day. We mentioned it, how he's had the most in his first 4 seasons in NFL history. He gets number 2 in week 1.
Definitely. And now if you're the Rams, you don't want to say that this game is out of reach already because it's only in the middle of the 3rd quarter. But, Justus, it's really looking like this Rams team just cannot keep up with the type of team that the Buffalo Bills are.
This Buffalo Bills offense is absolutely humming today. As Tyler Bass comes on for the extra point, he looks to stay perfect on the day, and he does. 38-10. This Buffalo Bills team is really, really letting this Rams team have it here in week 1 in their own building, no less, on ring night. This is you want to see your team show a little more fight, and the Rams aren't really making it happen today right now.
No, definitely not. If you're a Rams fan, you're hearing all these things of, oh, well, you guys won last year, but if you had played the Buffalo Bills or the Kansas City Chiefs, a lot of people had some doubts on you. So, they finally give you one of those matchups that you hear about in the first game of the season. While you're not the same exact team, you still have a lot to prove, especially on ring night. And, you're trying to really put it out there that you're not to be trifled with, and this Rams team doesn't look like they've got that fire.
Cooper Kupp, with maybe his best return of the night, brings it out to the 22-yard line. We see the numbers there. Matt Stafford started off pretty decent. He's finished 4 of his last 7, so Matt Stafford hasn't been bad. He also hasn't been great. He has found his weapons so far this game. We'll see what he can do on this drive here as we are approaching the midway of the 3rd quarter. He drops back to pass. He's got time. He misses Allen Robinson, who could have had a nice little game there, covered by Teron Johnson.
Sure. There's a bunch of what could have been with this Rams offense right now. And it just seems as if the ball was just placed a little bit better there, that Allen Robinson would have pulled it down, and maybe this Rams team could start humming a little bit to try to find their way back. But with all this pressure, it's hard.
We see another screen there, roughing the passer on the defense. So Ed Oliver picks up the penalty, and instead of being 3rd and 10, we're going to have a 1st and 10, excuse me. Ball at the 37-yard line for the Los Angeles Rams. So mistake there by third-year man out of Utah, Ed Oliver.
Yeah. I definitely think that the Rams, we don't have the power of replay here, but I think that the Rams really need to just, again, maybe another flag on the play.
This looks to be a hold. It looks like this may be coming back, and it is. So they get a break there on first down, and they get a break there on second down and get the first down. They give it all right back with the hold, and now it'll be 1st and 15 on the 32-yard line.
Really tough break here. I really want to see the Los Angeles Rams just, at this point, when you're down this much, we need to see the Rams absolutely going for it and not being timid, unless they think that they can get big chunk plays running the ball. But Matt Stafford needs to air it out a little bit here.
Matt Stafford being chased around by that Bills defense. He finds his man on the outside with a gain of 7 on the play.
Yeah, Jacob Harris there. I think that this Rams team really needs to start airing this ball out, because if they don't, again, you're down 28 points against the team that is the supposed Super Bowl favorite. You weren't even, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, Justus, were they number 2?
I believe so.
The Rams are still number 2 to go back, and right now, this is not looking like a contest at all.
Cam Akers with his first big run of the day. We see the Bills offense on the sideline having a little bit of fun. But Cam Akers does get a nice chunk play for the Rams offense. And they mentioned that they like to see some production from this run game. Cam Akers had 10 carries for 11 yards previously. He gets 15 yards on that play. We'll see what he does on this play. Doesn't get very much. Shaq Lawson is bringing so much energy to this Bills defensive line.
He is, and that's kind of what they brought him back in to be, is to be able to stop that run. And this seems to be a thing with this Bills team, is they will give up a big run every now and then. But right now, if you're the Rams, running the ball is just to your detriment, because you are going to keep running that clock down. And I wouldn't like to believe that a Sean McVay-led team is just trying to run that clock down to get to the end of the game already.
He gets pressured, and he was looking for his man downfield. Great defense from the secondary. A little bit of a dangerous pass. He took a shot. It did come down incomplete.
But that's what you're expecting to see here, right? Is you're really expecting to see the Rams try. They are down big. They need to get some sort of points on the board, and they cannot afford anything less.
Their points that they had so far came on a play where they took a shot, and they take a shot there. It comes away incomplete, but on this play, they get enough for the first down.
It looks like it. And then, if I do believe, was that also Higbee that caught that?
I couldn't see if it was Higbee. It looked like a tight end, though.
It was definitely a tight end. That was a big white man out there. So
Matt Stafford moves around, can't find anybody. He just throws the ball away. Matt Stafford is less than 50% from the field, throwing the ball, but he does have over 300 yards passing versus this Bills defense. What do you think that 300 yards passing? Is it more so just the volume, or is he playing pretty well?
It's very hard, because again, they're so hit or miss with what they're doing right now, especially when it comes to their game plan, because they'll run the ball. They haven't had much success doing it. And then a lot of it seems to be empty yards. Matt Stafford just trying to get them back into a position to be able to get first downs or even move the chains. And it doesn't seem as though they're having any success with that. So a lot of these third and longs, they're just picking up yards because the Bills defense is pulling back. And with that giant chunk that he gained from that pass to Allen Robinson, I mean, just look at how much time he has back there. And that's what he gets. That is just a detriment to how you cannot do anything against this Bills secondary. They're one of the best in the league. And that is even with a corner that I believe was either an 8th rounder or 7th rounder or undrafted in Dane Jackson, and a 1st rounder in Kyer Elam, who's a rookie.
Kyer Elam comes up with the play there, and we'll see the Rams kicker come out for an attempt, and the kick is up. It is good, and the Rams now are only down by 25 points. So halfway through the third quarter, and they kick a field goal, and they put points on board.
Kicking a field goal here, I do not understand it. It is definitely seeming to be as if Sean McVay is putting off the vibes that he is admitting defeat already. You understand that you are down big here, and if you're kicking field goals instead of trying to go for 7, because that's the only way you can get back into this game, I don't think you deserve to win it.
This game is looking pretty good if you're a Bills fan here. 38-13 as we see Jameson Crowder bring it out to the end zone. So we won't have great field position starting here for the Buffalo Bills. They're going to start at their own 16-yard line. Both coverage teams are playing really, really well today.
They are, and definitely that's the one thing that the Rams can hang their hat on, is that their special teams unit has been probably the only thing that really is showing out today. A lot of work to do on the offense and defensive side of the ball. And just while we're sitting here, I do want to bring up the sim rules again. If you are just tuning in with us, they are 15-minute quarters on all Madden. The QB ratings for Matt Stafford and Josh Allen are matched to match their Madden 23 leaked ratings, and all teams have been updated to reflect any team's changes while Josh Allen does use his legs again there. With rounds 1 through 3 rookies, unless that later round rookie was a specialist, which would mean most of the time if you use a draft pick on a specialist, he's probably going to be starting and playing on your team. So that is why you'll see Matareza in here. And no user input, so this is all the CPU. Me and Justus are just commentating.
Literally just commentators. Josh Allen slings it. What a throw. And Isaiah McKenzie is able to come up with it. He is spreading the wealth here, and it looks so efficient. It looks just beautiful coming out of his hands and getting to his wide receivers. Everything looks great for this Bills offense so far.
Yeah, and if you want a quarterback in the NFL, you're hoping that he can break down a defense the way that Josh Allen is doing here today with these Los Angeles Rams. Absolutely getting the ball to everybody. And if you're a wide receiver, I don't know why you wouldn't want to play with Josh Allen, because it seems like right now he is making sure everybody gets their full.
Yeah, if you're a wide receiver around the NFL and you're watching this game, you have to be excited for the possibilities that you could have with this guy. He looks really, really good. Devin Singletary gets the run again. And, hey, the Bills look like, they're continuing their on-brand pace here. 3rd and 4. They're keeping it 3rd and short. 2 runs, and we'll see what they do here on 3rd down with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I definitely expect them to keep running the ball more. Now, when you've got a lead like this, you're really not trying to run the score up unless there's any threat of the other team being able to truly come back. So Josh Allen and them, they're going to just keep converting these 3rd downs, and they're going to run the ball, and they're going to run the clock out so that they can at least help everybody get to the end of this game. Because if you're a Rams fan, you are not enjoying this right now.
As we see the completion to Dawson Knox on 3rd down. Great lead block by the fullback / tight end Reggie Gilliam. We're going to see the Buffalo Bills move the sticks here as they continue to work the clock as well. They come back out under center. We'll see what Josh Allen does here on 1st down. And we get a run to Zach Moss. He is taken out immediately by the Hall of Famer Aaron Donald, who we've called his name once before tonight. That's the second time, but he does make the play there on first down.
He does. The first time we've seen Zach Moss in quite a bit. And it's kind of just what you've been seeing all game is that, Aaron Donald has come back into the backfield a little bit, but usually it's to stop a run. I don't believe he has gotten his hands on Josh Allen once. Full momentum is in the Buffalo Bills camp right now.
Josh Allen, play fake, drops back, a little bit of pressure, finds Dawson Knox for a great gain. Looks like a gain
end of the third quarter.
Looks like a gain of 7 for Dawson Knox. End of the third quarter, we see the Buffalo Bills in the comparisons, and they are dominating this game.
Definitely.
Josh Allen looking like a superstar.
Definitely. And to just address some of the comments that we have in here, Elam is having a decent first game. 2 picks in your first game in the NFL is absolutely ridiculous, especially for a rookie. And it just looks like the Buffalo Bills are dominating on all fronts here, and the Los Angeles Rams are just trying to escape without looking too bad.
It's absolutely going to look good on your resume if you're leading the league in interceptions after 2 weeks. Dawson Knox carries a cornerback past the markers. He gets hit pretty hard by Bobby Wagner, but not before he already manhandled another man for the first down.
Sure, seeing a Madden glitch there, of course, that is something on brand for the Madden franchise. You got to see, though, that the Buffalo Bills here seem to be going a little bit more to what we think of the Buffalo Bills is they're throwing the ball a lot more with some runs sprinkled in there.
Josh Allen in the gun. 1st and 10. Run. James Cook. Minimal gain, gets a gain of 3. Here in the fourth quarter, they're running it a little bit more. And we're seeing a little bit less of Devin Singletary here. They're putting the other guys in to get them some carries as well.
Yeah, Singletary at the beginning of the game really put this Bills offense on his shoulders. So now, they're giving him a little bit of a rest, and they're getting some of the other guys in there. They're going to have James Cook with a bit of a sprinkling in as Zach Moss. But don't be surprised if you see Singletary out there a little bit more towards the end if they're just trying to convert some of these long gains that they need.
Well, we do see Singletary right there, and today is his second career game with 100 yards rushing. But there on second down, he goes nowhere, and for a few times, one of the few times tonight, we're going to see a 3rd and long for the Bills. 3rd and medium, really, but 3rd and 7, we see Josh Allen here in the shotgun. He drops back to pass, quick throw. He finds Jamison Crowder inside the Los Angeles 30.
Jamison Crowder a little bit quiet after his first half, but again, 68 yards or 78 yards. One of those. I didn't catch it before it went off the screen, but definitely Josh Allen just utilizing every single weapon that he has on the field is going to be hard for a lot of secondaries in the NFL to actually be able to keep up with all of these weapons, especially with ones that are really, really good, like the Rams have a decent secondary. Just Devin Singletary, again, getting blown up in the backfield by Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald was 3rd tackle on the day, 2nd tackle for a loss. I mean, that is the greatest ever. And he expected probably to see a little bit more of him today, but he is making an impact here on this drive with 2 really big tackles. And we're going to see what we see from the Bills on 2nd and long. As we've seen so far today, the Bills have had really good games, usually on first down. This time they go nowhere.
Sure, and I fully expect the Buffalo Bills to keep trying to sprinkle the run in here to let the clock wind down as they have a healthy lead, 38-13. Josh Allen going to stand back in the pocket. Enough time.
Plenty of time. It looks like he was going to evade the pressure, but instead he gets taken down by Hollins, and that's the Rams' first sack of the day. It brings up 3rd and 16.
3rd and 16 here. If you're the Rams, you need to stop the Buffalo Bills at all costs, because right now it's looking like that the Bills still have most of the momentum, but if you're able to hold them here to at least 3, maybe that gives you a chance to have your offense come out and try to do something. Again, Holland's there with a good tackle on Josh Allen. That is not an easy man to bring down.
Yeah, your back is about as bent as it could possibly be, but if the Bills were to pick up a first down on here in 3rd and 16, that could be a real backbreaker as we see a pass to Devin Singletary, who gets a nice chunk of change. It looks like he's going to get a gain of 11, and it will bring up 4th down. And it looks like we'll see the field goal team come on for the Bills. But a nice gain on 3rd down with the lead. You get positive yardage.
Sure, and for some reason, seeing the Rams defense still celebrating that, even though the Bills are still going to come off of the field with 3 points, putting their team in a bigger deficit. It was a big play, but Devin Singletary coming back for that ball as Tyler Bass puts it up, and it is good. So the Bills go up 41-13. You got to think that the Rams here, maybe they're the little victories, but this Bills offense is still really giving them the business.
Tyler Bass stays perfect. And I mean, outside of Josh Allen's lone interception, this Bills offense has been putting up points and scoring. And there's only been 2 drives, I believe. We've seen Matt Araiza. We've had that interception from Josh Allen and the fumble from Dawson Knox. But outside of that, they've put points up on every drive. So you have to be excited what you're seeing if you're a Bills fan.
They're very, very efficient, and we have seen that with the Bills outside of a few games. Still, with a blocker there, pushing the player literally right into Cooper Kupp's area. Not very realistic, but that is Madden 22 for you. Again, I don't want to sound like I'm hating on Madden, but there's a lot of things that maybe should be improved, and we are seeing it in this simulation today. The Rams really here on this drive, Justice, I think they got to air it out, man, because I do not see a world where right now, if they are still trying to win this game, even down so big, to where running the ball even makes sense.
Well, they're down by 4 touchdowns here, and they're going to run it anyway. And Mr. Run Stopper himself, Daquan Jones, says, you're not going anywhere. A gain of 1 for Cam Akers.
Yeah, Cam Akers, again, having a really tough day. The Buffalo Bills paying guys like Daquan Jones and Jordan Phillips to come back to help shore up that run game that has been exposed a few times in some games over the last couple of years. This is a whole new unit, and I'm excited to see what they do the rest of this season.
Matt Stafford, with plenty of time, makes a very dangerous throw. It is incomplete. Jordan Poyer had the very, very close coverage, and it was close. It looked like it could have been intercepted.
Sure. Let's see. I see that the PlayStation up there said that there's a power saving mode possibly going on. That cannot be good. Hopefully this game, I'm pretty sure this game plays to its
Daquan Jones with the sack, his second sack of the game. This Bills defensive line is it's true to form. What you see on paper, you're expecting them to be dominant, and they are most certainly showing it here today.
And I did make sure to go in there. The PS5 does not turn off, and you will get the end of this game. I had to make sure and go check. Yeah, dude, this Rams offense, it really just seems like they are trying to get out of here in one piece, and Matt Stafford just throwing an absolute heave.
It was caught
out of bounds.
He is out of bounds. A great catch there by Cooper Kupp. And this Bills defense is secondary. The line is creating pressure. The secondary is locking people down. And a good attempt to go deep, just a little out of bounds as we see Josh Allen come back on the field. He's 32 of 40 with 359 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He is absolutely destroying this Rams defense. He is 80% from the field, Jake Jordan.
Definitely. This, I do not know how to really contemplate this, because like the people in the comments are saying, good old Madden, this really feels more lopsided than I actually believe this game will go in real life. But Josh Allen, at least in Madden, seems to be true to form to what the Josh Allen we saw at the end of last season has been, being able to spread the wealth, take what the defenses are giving him, and just absolutely make the teams on the opposing side pay.
Now, Jake, I have to ask you, in what ways in the regular season do you think things would be different than they are in this current simulation?
I think that there's a little bit more reliance on the run game, at least in this simulation that we might see from the Bills. I feel like the Bills will be more situationally running the ball. I feel like that if a game like this were to happen, the Rams would sell out to stop the run if the Bills were able to do to them what they were doing in the first half, which was giving the ball to Devin Singletary and absolutely running all over them. I mean, they're still just not able to fill up those holes and stop Devin Singletary from letting this clock run down. I think Devin Singletary will have a little bit less of a role, not traditional running. I think there's going to be a lot more spreading the running backs out or using them simply for blocking, and still using them more as pass weapons more than run. But definitely, I don't think they're going to run the ball as much as we're seeing here today.
Well, we'll see what happens. However, Devin Singletary still has close to 5 yards to carry in this game. Josh Allen drops back to pass. He has James Cook.
James Cook was wide open, but Josh Allen.
However, Josh Allen's going to take it himself. Touchdown, Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen with his third rushing touchdown of the day. And wow, we're approaching a 50 burger, ladies and gentlemen. This Bills offense cannot be stopped.
And again, if you are just tuning in because I am watching the numbers, these are the rules. The Buffalo Bills, nothing has been changed about them. Everything reflects what each of these teams has. Madden just seems to believe that the Los Angeles Rams offense will not be able to do anything against this Buffalo Bills defense. And I mean, I kind of saw it going into the game, looking at the rosters and seeing some of the overalls. The Buffalo Bills have a huge advantage when it comes to the defensive line against this Rams offensive line.
Josh Allen gets his third rushing touchdown of the game. I mean, of course, you can't really base numbers off of one game for a season average, but you'd have a lot of rushing touchdowns if you did. 3 touchdowns here in the first 3.5 quarters, and the game isn't even over yet. Of course, you really don't know what to expect. They just have to go for it in their own, 20-yard line, so the Bills got great field position. So what are we expecting to see here from the Rams offense on this drive?
I really don't know what to expect from this Rams offense during this drive, because it seems as though that they need to throw the ball, take a little bit more shots. We have kind of seen that at this point with 8 minutes and 20 seconds left and the Bills scoring another touchdown. The Rams are really just playing to make this game look a little bit more respectable than it is, but you should always be playing to win. Again, it's very tough here because this Rams offense does not seem to be able to do anything with
Von Miller getting pressure, and he gets the sack. That's his second sack on the day for the Hall of Famer. He has had this imprint on this football game.
Definitely Von Miller coming back to the Rams, who he helped win the Super Bowl with last year. And I mean, you cannot say that Rams Super Bowl team was much more talented than the one that we are seeing today when it comes to the players on the roster. Again, we are your commentators, Jake Jordan and Justus Radford. And, right now we're seeing the Buffalo Bills absolutely dominate the Los Angeles Rams.
Matt Stafford finds his man Cooper Kupp for a gain of 8 on the play, and it is now 3rd and 15. 3rd and long seems to be a just constant for this Rams defense. This Bills defense has been absolutely relentless here with the pressure from the D-line, with the coverage from the secondary. We'll see what they can do here on 3rd and long. 3rd and 15. Matt Stafford drops back to pass, and he finds his man Cooper Kupp over the middle again. 4th and 9 coming up. We expect maybe McVay to keep the offense on the field, or might see the punt team.
At this point in the game, I would expect you need to go for it. There's no harm if you put the Buffalo Bills in this situation. Again, we're seeing it right here. They're going for it.
Jake is absolutely right. The Rams are going for it, and Matthew Stafford finds no one, but there is a flag on the play. Von Miller was coming at Matthew Stafford extremely, and we get a pass interference on the defense.
Just as I was saying, you didn't hear Dane Jackson's name all night, but in a moment like this, that is a huge penalty.
Especially with a deep pass down the middle, and it didn't look to be a lot of contact there, but the refs called what they called, and Dane Jackson is guilty of the penalty. And Matt Stafford drops back to pass under center. He finds his man Allen Robinson, who breaks the tackle from Dane Jackson, takes it down to the Buffalo 25-yard line.
The one thing that you can hang your hat on if you are the Los Angeles Rams is hopefully being able to end this game out with your offense looking better going into next week. So hopefully you can continue to improve that you are one of those teams that will be competing at the end of the season.
And if they are going to be one of those teams, they got to get some things in order after looking at a competitor who looks to be one of those teams as well tonight. Matt Stafford drops back to pass. He winds up and finds his man. Great throw and catch. Van Jefferson on the sideline. That puts them inside the Buffalo 10-yard line, and they are in scoring position. Rams defense over there just looks, shell-shocked. They really can't stop anyone today, but the offense is moving the ball right now.
And this is the best we have seen the Rams offense all night. I've really been waiting to see them go to Van Jefferson more with the mismatch kind of him on Dane Jackson, if you want to call that a mismatch. But just overall wise, they should be targeting more than Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp and Higbee. Van Jefferson is still another viable option on the other side of that offense.
And you mentioned it. You said it perfectly. This is their best drive of the night. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the first drive that they scored on was a really, toss-up, deep pass to Allen Robinson. And then, interception! Oh, my goodness. Kaiir Elam.
Have a day, rookie. Have a day.
Interceptions and a touchdown for the rookie after being beat deep on the first touchdown from Allen Robinson. He has more than made up for it tonight, forcing his third turnover, and he takes it in himself for a pick six.
See, during that throw, I would have thrown it to Cooper Kupp, who was wide open over the middle. Taron Johnson not able to keep up with him, but yet he throws a errant throw to Allen Robinson, and Kaiir Elam absolutely reads Matt Stafford and takes it home. And in this moment, he has 3 interceptions, one being a pick six, with Tyler Bass here on the field to put the Bills up 55-13. And Kaiir Elam having a welcome to the NFL moment against Allen Robinson, but also showing that he's got what it takes in his first game to be a great corner in this league, already showing out against a premier wide receiver and a quarterback that some would say is not a scrub.
How confident are you, if you're a Buffalo Bills fan, in this coaching staff today? They have, as you mentioned, that they've got their rookie cornerback out there, round 1 pick, covering one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, Allen Robinson, and he has 3 picks today. He let the touchdown go early, but he has been phenomenal since.
Absolutely. I cannot wait for it. Again, people in the comments talking about pick sixes. What a great play.
Absolutely a great play. We'll see what this Rams offense can do. The fat lady is pretty much already sung in this one. Matt Stafford is 24-44, 264 yards, and 1 touchdown to Allen Robinson, and then 3 picks. Allen Robinson has really been his go-to guy today. And of course, it looked like he was, trying to take advantage of the rookie, which he has. Allen Robinson still has, plenty of yards, but the rookie also has gotten his today. Allen, excuse me, Matt Stafford is in the shotgun. He drops back the pass on 1st and 4. I'm sorry, he does not drop back the pass. They do a screen run or a draw run up the middle by Cam Akers, and it looks like they're waving a white flag out there, Jake.
It definitely looks like it. You could see, too, there was a coaching staff adjustment made by the Buffalo Bills, came down and stripped the ball. They are completely planning for the Rams to just run the ball here and to try to run down this clock.
Matt Stafford back in the shotgun. He's going to throw this time. Oh, dangerous throw. Dangerous throw. Jordan Poyer looked like he might have been able to grab that one, but he didn't. Van Jefferson came up with it. 1st and 10. Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, and this just speaks to this Buffalo Bills defense. Also, Jake, at this point in the game, maybe down it. Yeah, that's how I feel. At this point in the game, just go for it. Just go for it. I mean, what else can I say? You can't be timid. It's not going to work out for you. And right now, there's no way you would make history coming back in this game. Make it more respectable for yourself, especially being a coach like Sean McVay, who is considered an offensive mastermind. Try to do something, again, with the Bills playing back here. Just going to let the Rams run the ball. Let that clock go down. I mean, the Bills today have just been absolutely spectacular.
You have to admit, man, looking at this game today, you probably thought this might be two teams that are in the Super Bowl, but maybe we might see half of these teams in the Super Bowl. Maybe we see both. We'll see what happens. It's a long season, but week one team seems to be a lot more ready than the other, and that's for sure. 1st and 10. Ball on the 40-yard line. Matt Stafford drops back to pass. He gets some time. He gets some pressure from Ed Oliver. Nope. Still
Where
got
are the
more
holes?
time. And he finds Cooper Kupp.
He completes it.
Down at the 16-yard line. The secondary was covering forever, and Cooper Kupp finally got open. And even in being open, there still wasn't very much room, but Matt Stafford finds a tight window and makes it happen.
Definitely. About 5 Bills in the area of that pass, and somehow Matt Stafford does complete it to Cooper Kupp. And I mean, like I've said, try to make it look respectable here with Cooper Kupp coming around the edge, still picking up a modest amount of yards.
And we've seen that a lot today. Cooper Kupp in motion and them trying to get him the ball on jet sweeps as well as quick passes. We've seen them try to get Cooper Kupp in the game. They've gotten Allen Robinson in the game, and it looks like they're just trying to get easy things for Matt Stafford to work with. 2nd and 5 here. Ball on the 11-yard line. Matt Stafford drops back the pass. He finds his tight end. He's going to have the first down. And what?
I was just going to say that this whole game has felt like trying to figure out what Matt Stafford can do with these weapons. And it really doesn't seem like that we've been able to see much of anything except maybe his connection with Allen Robinson earlier in the game. But yeah, the Bills at the 2-minute warning, 55-13 in this simulation, a Buffalo FAMbase production of the simulation of week 1 of the 2023 season. And the Buffalo Bills absolutely looking beautiful with Von Miller.
Von Miller getting his 3rd sack of the game. Another loss of yards for Von Miller, and Josh Allen and his offense are absolutely hyped up about it.
And coming into this game, Von Miller wanted to send a message that he did not make a mistake going to the Buffalo Bills and leaving Los Angeles, as a lot of people seem to think that maybe he had some regrets. And Josh Allen and the team making sure to come in here and win this one for Von.
Matt Stafford dropping back to pass on 2nd and goal. He makes a pass to the end zone. Incomplete. Looks like its intended receiver was Van Jefferson, but it flies out the back of the end zone.
Definitely. Matt Stafford here, he has just been struggling all day. In the first half, it felt like he was trying to be able to make something out of nothing, and he had a moderate amount of yards, but this second half has been absolutely embarrassing for this Rams offense.
2 down territory here. We get a throw back to the end zone, and Cooper Kupp had it, but dropped it in the back of the end zone. Great defense.
Terrell Bernard.
Terrell Bernard, that was Terrell Bernard in there
Yeah.
making the play. Great play by the rookie there in the end zone, excuse me.
And they're
And the
kicking
Rams are
it.
not going to take any chances. They're going to try to walk out of here with as many points as they can get. And the kick is up, and it's good. The
I'm
Rams
not gonna
get 16 points here today, and field goal there. How do you feel about that?
I do not like that. And if I was a Rams fan, that would kind of make me angry. At this point in the game, you go for it there. You don't just take the points. This isn't one of those games that I understand if they're just trying to take the points and get out of there, but admitting defeat in the NFL does not show a great attitude when it comes to that's admitting defeat. And if you're a team, especially one coming in today, and you're supposed to be the Super Bowl champs, that is a sad display for me at the end of a game.
The Rams kick it off. We get Jamison Crowder, takes
Best
it down
return
to
all
the
day.
25-yard line. That's return all day, absolutely. And the Bills look like they can just come in and take some knees. Maybe they won't, but maybe run the ball a few times and wind down this clock. But this game is over. Josh Allen finishes the day 33 of 42, 366 yards. He's had so many touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns on the day. He's had also 3 passing touchdowns, I believe. First half, it looked like your MVP was going to be Devin Singletary, but with Josh Allen's numbers toward the end of this game, it just looks like he completely took over this game.
He did. And honestly, the Bills just need to keep running the ball here, run the clock out. You've won your game. Von Miller, what a homecoming. Like, even if you want to call it a homecoming, he was there for a season and won a Super Bowl. You know, just a day. Have yourself a day, Buffalo Bills. You have won 55-16.
And that's the end of the game here from your Buffalo FAMbase, the original Bills Mafia Madden 22 Week 1 simulation starting the 2022 NFL regular season. We will be doing this with you guys week by week, every single game. Next week, of course, we have the Buffalo Bills versus the Tennessee Titans. So make sure you guys join us at 1 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. And we just take a look at this game, and the Buffalo Bills absolutely dominate the Los Angeles Rams, Jake. This is exactly what you want to see from the Buffalo Bills going, and maybe not how the game may go in real life, but we've seen a lot of parallels with this match.
Yeah, I gotta say, of course, welcome to the post-game show. So this is embarrassing for the Rams, at least in the simulation. It is one taking the points at the end of the game just like that, but absolutely having no answers for that Buffalo Bills defense. It is, if the game goes anything like that in real life, if I was a Rams fan, I would literally pack up. I'm packing up, and I'm done. I'm not going to any of the away games because I'm thinking that was an embarrassing show for a team. Now, granted, they do have a bunch of stuff that they're still working through. The new people that they've got, the offensive line needs time to gel. Those wide receivers on the outside, like the offense, it changes. So I'm not going to say that the Rams, even if it is a performance like that I'm going, yeah, they're done. I still think that they'll be a respectable team. It might just take them a little bit longer to get it all put together.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at that game, we obviously see where, Vegas has the Bills as the Super Bowl champions. So there's a lot of, hype and positive
Mhm.
energy surrounding the Buffalo team.
We got
What
a
do
tornado
you,
in the area?
I don't know what is going on. I'm so sorry, guys. Do you think this is more about good Bills or bad Rams?
I think that this was both. It's not just one. It's not the Rams being bad. I think it's the Rams really being confused and not really being able to put everything all together. And it has a lot to do with the Bills also being one of those teams that came in and has so much continuity outside of maybe adding a few other pieces. But this team has been together for so many years. This Rams team, some of their continuity on the defensive line, sure. Having Jalen Ramsey back there in the secondary, that's great. But that secondary's never been amazing. The thing is, the Buffalo Bills have a lot of guys that got solid guys with guys that are breaking out and are good. And then you add Von Miller on top of that defense. You add a first round pick in there in Kyer Elam, who I would have to say might be the MVP of the day if I had to give an award just for being a rookie, having 3 picks, one being a pick 6. It's it's scary. It's a little bit of both. More inexperienced Rams, but it's also a really good Bills team coming into town.
And you have to take a look at, just the way Josh Allen performed today.
Sure.
He absolutely went nuts. And of course, he did have the one interception that looked like to be a little bit of miscommunication. When you compare that to what, Matt Stafford did, who he took a lot of chances and he really didn't get a lot of good results versus the secondary versus Josh Allen, who didn't take a ton of chances, was able to move his feet, get out of the pocket, and find guys a little bit. He accumulated so many passing yards, and it looked like he just didn't have to do nearly as much as Matt Stafford did.
No, it really felt like that Josh Allen looked more comfortable in the captain's chair in on his side of the offense. It's just he went out there and made it look effortless. And again, the greats go out there and do that. But sometimes you see the greats have to do it with guys that are, below average and stuff like that. The Buffalo Bills organization has made this to where Josh Allen can still be that guy that elevates all these people. But he's got great weapons around him, whether they were drafted, traded for, brought in free agency. He doesn't have a lack of weapons, and it just felt like it was much more easy for Josh Allen out there today because a lot of those weapons he's had for a couple of years now. So he's used to them. And you throw a guy like Jamison Crowder in there, who's a veteran, he's going to pick up the verbiage, he's going to know. And like Josh Allen, it felt like in that game, made it a point to show that Jamison Crowder was going to be one of those guys, just like, yeah, we're not going to skip a step. So definitely, I think that Matt Stafford probably needs a little bit more time to be able to get used to these new weapons, whereas Josh Allen has kind of had most of them for quite a few years.
Yeah, and we saw the way the special team performed. Tyler Bass was perfect from the field. Matt Araiza, when he was called upon, he was able to coffin corner the punts and put him inside the 20. Coverage team looked great. And we'll see what happens with the return team. But everything looks smooth from the Buffalo Bills today. Great offense, great defense, great special teams, great coaching. Great play from his defensive line. Before we get out of here, you have to talk about how dominant Von Miller, Ed Oliver, DeQuan Jones,
Yeah.
and Jack Lawson even got a lot of pressure today.
Yeah, definitely. That defensive line, like we brought up, Bills 55, Rams 13. That defense was all over the Rams today, whether it was stopping the runs in the backfields with DaQuan Jones, who even got hits on Matt Stafford, which that's not even his job, and he's doing that. And you've got Ed Oliver, Von Miller, 3 sacks on the day. Just a absolute showing for one of the top paid defensive lines in the NFL. That's the expectation, that's the standard, and they went out there and absolutely blew everything out of the water. And when you got a defense like that, it's going to be really hard to stop these Buffalo Bills.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills come away with the W in week 1 on Thursday Night Football to start the NFL season. They obliterate the Los Angeles Rams 55-16. And we'll see what happens in real life. But until then, you guys can tune in with us every single Sunday at 1
Yes,
p.m.
sir.
We will be doing every game on the Bills regular season schedule. We'll see what happens, and from there. But by that time, the Buffalo Bills real games will be on at 1 p.m. on Sundays, or primetime
Yeah,
games if not.
and
But
I don't think we'll do the playoffs, even if the
yeah,
Bills. It's just kind of like this is kind of simming the season,
and
not
then it's
really.
something to kind of give us something to do and look forward to. And
Yeah.
we get to simulate the season a little bit to see how well we think the Bills might do with some Madden simulation. And that was a big part of us not doing any user just letting the computer simulate it. So we don't know what happened, you guys don't know what happened, we all find out for the first time. But
Yeah, that second half again.
oof.
I kind of like I hit sim, and my girlfriend, I left, and I said just set a timer for this because each quarter is roughly around 30 minutes, 30 40 minutes. And I was like, just set your timer and hit stop recording on my computer because I used the capture card and everything. And I didn't even ask her the final score. I was just like, when she got on the phone, I was like, hey, did you do it? And she was like, yeah. And I'm like, just was it bad? And she's like, and I'm like, you know what? Don't tell me. Like, I don't want to know. All I did was I knew it was 0. I found where halftime was, cut it, and then threw it into here. So I wanted this to be a very good experience for all of us. And hey, dude, I had fun. I know my voice is my throat kind of killing me right now because we've been sitting here talking for 2.5 hours, but I feel like we're also kind of used to it because we do live shows every Friday. So
Yeah, you sound fine, man. Didn't even notice if you want to say anything. But that was a humongous game. And I had a lot of fun too. It was actually pretty cool, especially it being our first time doing it. I think that we got something pretty cool here. But thank you for the love, guys. We appreciate the love as well. Yes, great show, fellas. Great stream. Love this idea, and the Buffalo Bills are starting the season 1-0. So yes, again, thank you guys for tuning in to the first ever Buffalo Bills Madden stream prediction simulation, and from Buffalo FAMbase. And we appreciate you guys for joining us for this, and as we do this. So you guys know we appreciate every single comment, like, subscription, share, retweet, all of it. We appreciate you guys so much for everything you do. Make sure you guys leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. Leave a like.
Yes,
slap the like button. And you can follow Jake Jordan on Twitter at Jake the Bills Fan. You can follow me at Justice General, and we will be here again every single week. Make sure you guys tune in as well on Friday. You get the lowdown with Jake Jordan in podcast form. And Friday morning, and then Friday night, you get both of us on first round bye, and actually tune into Justice for All on Tuesdays as well. And we got a lot of content for you guys in Bills Mafia, and the cops are coming, so we should probably end the stream.
Yeah, we accurately predicted it, and the NFL sent the cops after.
Yeah, so exactly. Yeah, so when you guys see 55-16, you know, come back and watch the stream. But thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, you gotta bail us out. Exactly. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys soon. So this is the official network of the original Bills Mafia, and we are out.